Miggity mic check, miggity mic 1 2. Welcome back to the Random Show with your host Agostinho Zinga. This is the Random Show with your host Agostinho Zinga, and I hope you're doing swimmingly wherever you may be today. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are well hydrated, well moisturized like I am. I've got some perspiration on top of my forehead, but it is what it is. We're lit up today. We're feeling good. We're feeling brave, and we are streaming very late at night, but we're doing what needs to be done. So big up everybody in the stream chat. I see you. Big up Koila, big up Uche, Tyler Ghost, Dragon Fox. I see you. I saw your earlier comment, Dragon Fox, about putting on blackface, and I just want to tell you right now that I don't stand for that sort of talk in my chat, please. Okay. Anyone that wants to do racist jokes or racial jokes, I'm the only person who could do that. Okay. I talk about the whips, I talk about the chains, right? I talk about the boats, I talk about us being kings, all right, or kangs, right? I talk about watermelon, I talk about chicken, I talk about basketball. I talk about hippity hop hop hop, but you cannot talk about blackface in my chat, okay? Please mind your P's and Q's, or I will come down with you on the fucking come down on you. Is that a pause? That might be a bit pausey, isn't it? Anyway, please refrain from the racial humor. Only I can do that. So, but no, big up everybody in the stream chat. I appreciate all of you for hanging out. We got loads of little things to jump on in. I found some big bits and bobs from the old bits and bobs that I found online. Bit of a slow news day today, but we're going to try our best to, dig through and find out what we can find out in it. So big up everybody in the stream chat. Appreciate you. Make sure you're liking the stream down below. Making sure, you're engaging in the chat. That's all I ask for and stuff. And, we're going to keep it cracking in it. We're going to keep it cracking. Check out the Patreon. I just uploaded a new episode on the Patreon, over an hour or something of me going through all the Russell Brand stuff. So if you want to see that and me digging deep in all of this stuff, then make sure you check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Agostinho. You'll be able to find a link where all my stuff is and stuff. Go on the video, there's a trailer or a little clip I put up on my YouTube channel now that links you straight to the Patreon, so check it out and link there. It's only $1 a month to join, so link on there and check out the stuff. I'm trying to upload on there as much as possible. I'm trying to do at least one post a week, but I'm going to do as many as I can during the week anyway to keep that thing going, you know what I mean? But yeah, apart from that, sit back and enjoy the show, innit? I got my water and ting, you know what I mean? I got my water. Let's go. First things first, right? I've been watching a lot of Wings of Redemption stuff, right? And I know a lot of you guys aren't fans of his, and I'm not going to play videos of his because he's kind of depressing. I'm not going to lie, Wings does make me a little bit depressed watching his stuff. But I'm wondering, have you guys noticed, right? People like that, I wonder if, like, because he does this thing that all of his viewers hate. Like, I've gone on his streams before, I've seen a chat, I've seen the clips, obviously, of the things that he does on other channels and seen the comments. It's universally accepted that most of his viewers, whether they like him or not, don't like the fact that he chews into the mic, right? And yawns and stuff like that, all this stuff, like, right? But he loves to eat in the mic, and it's always like, for some reason, everyone that eats in front of the camera, they have a really annoying way of flipping chewing. They can't seem to chew normally. I don't know why that is, but it seems to be like a common thing with people who eat in front of the camera, especially on stream, which I've never understood. I understand you don't want your viewers to go, but you could easily just run a slideshow and go and sit down and eat for like 20 minutes and come back. If people leave, they leave, but you don't need to like sit in front of the camera, like, especially with the microphone on. It's just weird. I don't understand why people do that. It's a very bizarre thing to do. Like, you're beholden to like sit in front of the camera. No, you're not. If you want to go for a piss or whatever, you can and just put the microphone off and turn the screen off, whatever. People don't do that. So Wings does this thing, right, where he likes to chew and swallow into the microphone. And I'm wondering with you guys, what do you think that's about? Do you think that's like a weird form of like control on his fans? Like, he knows it annoys them, but he does it anyway. Right? I've got some, there's some, obviously you can see what he does here, some clips. I'm not going to play them for you because it legitimately makes me gross. But I wonder if it's, or should I just play it so you hear what I mean? This is one of them, right? Where he leaves the door open when he pisses, and then he chews into the microphone. It's fucking gross, but let me just play it so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. And I wonder if this is just his form of like weird control on his fans, because he knows that he hates it, they hate it, but he just wants to assert dominance and control on them and say, you know what, this is my stream, I do what I want. I wonder if that's what he's doing, because it's odd. It's so very odd. Let me just make sure the thing is on. There you go. Let's hold on. Let's see it. There's a bit here where he there's a bit here where, and the dead air is just insane. The amount of dead air this guy has on his streams is something to marvel at. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here it is. It's about here. So look, and he leaves the stream for ages, right? So he's here sitting down. Let's play a little bit of the clip, right? This is Wings sitting down there, right? He's fucking huge as well, to be fair. He is absolutely massive. And this is massive all from just like non-moving, right? Refusal to move. Yo, big up that Indian dude.
Regarding Brand, it is a bit trial by media. But Brand has always come across as what CALLEN has aspired to be. And they have the same pest-like behavior towards women.
Yeah, the Russell Brand stuff we're going to talk about, of course. Big up that Indian dude. Appreciate you for the super chat, brother. We'll talk about that in detail next, but it's complicated. It's not just trial by media, brother. It's complicated. It's all at once. It's all things happening at the same time, which people don't seem to be able to process in their heads too much. I don't know why the internet is unable to process that. Okay, it could be a hit job. It could be true. It could be unwarranted. It could be warranted. All of those things could be true at the same time. I don't think anybody is going to sit here and call him an angel, right? That's the problem with having bad behavior, even if you've changed. And you know what it made me think about, though? You know what? This is strange to say, like a point that I've kind of seen before. I always used to, I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. I hope you kind of see where I'm coming from, right? It always used to really not make sense to me when I heard people that go through AA. They do this thing where you have to like ask forgiveness from people, right? You have to talk to people who maybe you might have hurt along your way of addiction and destruction and shit, and call them up or whatever, and basically let them know that, hey, you acknowledge that you have an issue, you're trying to get it sorted now, and you want to just apologize for how you were before and you're changing, whatever it may be, right? It's like you basically owning up to your mistakes and saying sorry to people that you've hurt along the way, which is it's a nice thing on the surface of it. But I always felt like it was a little bit, I wouldn't say manipulative, but it always felt a little bit like you were backing somebody into a corner, like they had to forgive you. Like sometimes you could do something to people that even though you felt like you're sorry and you've made amends, they can just not forgive you. They're allowed not to ever forgive you and not want anything to do with you. It doesn't matter if you're in recovery. It doesn't matter if you've now given your life to Christ or you've now become a Muslim or whatever. They're allowed to say, you know what, I'm done with you. I don't care what changes you've made. Congratulations. Get on with your life, but don't talk to me anymore. People are allowed to do that. But I felt like that whole phone call thing that happens in AA and stuff is a weird way of like forcing people to accept you and to accept your apology. You know, it's a strange thing to sort of like do to somebody. And I feel like when it comes to this sort of stuff, when it comes to this sort of Russell Brand stuff, it sort of feels like the same thing, you know? It sort of feels like it's in the same sort of like ballpark a little bit. It's like Russell thought because of his rebrand of being this holistic kind of like, you know, woo-woo guy, that he could erase all the wrongs that he's done in the past because he decided to change his image, not knowing that some people are still carrying the pain of whatever he may have done before, you know? Like, but that's the thing sometimes that happens. Like when you're that kind of guy, you don't know what happened. You don't know how the person reacts to you, you know? You don't know how they're feeling. You could have moved on. You're all right now. You've got a new wife. You've got kids now. You've got this new career. But maybe life hasn't moved on for them. Maybe life is still as painful as it once was. Maybe every time they see your face, it pisses them off. That's the whole thing happened with Chris D'Elia. Do you remember? The Chris D'Elia story is so fucking crazy. But the Chris D'Elia story is funny because how Chris D'Elia happened, right? Is this, if I remember correctly, he was in You. And it's funny because the character he plays is essentially a pedophile and takes advantage of the Jenna Ortega actor, who then Chris D'Elia later on in a podcast pretends like he doesn't know. But Chris D'Elia is an actor in You, second season or third, really popular show on Netflix. One of their most popular shows before, like that one with the horror, with the kids and shit, whatever that one's called. One of the really popular ones. And he's everywhere on TV. Chris, it's like he's one of his boom times. I think it was just a little bit after the whole MNN thing. And some random girl switching channels sees Chris on TV. And I think it's the first one. It's the girl that was like, I think a little bit young, and then he messaged her when she was young or underage. She said she's underage, and I think he tried to message her back after. But it was one of the first ones that kind of came out. She sees him on TV and gets pissed off. And she just fires off an innocent tweet saying, oh, if only people knew something about Chris. I don't know, something, you know, something catty, but like she's just a random girl. Big up Uche, appreciate you.
Russell rebranded AA as a how to unfuck yourself guide / grift. Bet he wishes he could unfuck a couple other people too.
Yeah, exactly. 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 See, I knew Uche would get it. I knew you would get it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, again, I agree. Why now? The timing's weird, right? It's 10 years plus on. He's a completely different person. No one even remembers that period of his life anymore unless you were a certain age. I get it. But let's be fair. Let's be fair. The guy did a lot of dirt probably in the past. Too much dirt to just, you know, move on with life with. Some people are hurt. You have to acknowledge their feelings, you know? Like, you have to acknowledge their feelings. It just is what it is. I think people's refusal to acknowledge feelings is odd one as well, because I guess I don't want to get distracted. But big up Uche, I appreciate you. Going back to my main point. The girl fires off an innocent tweet, and that's what leads to the whole dominoes falling for Crystalia, right? I think that's the same thing happened with Russell Brand. Maybe the fact that he's been so popular on his own, doing these live streams from that shed looking background thing he's got, getting millions of views, anti-establishment guy, rallying against the mainstream media, all these things that he's doing, right? Rah, 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 is obviously getting him a lot of clicks, a lot of views, but it's also increasing the amount of people that see him. So the victims who felt like they got wronged by him in the past, keep seeing his face on the algorithm. They're pissed off, they're annoyed, they're pissed off, they're annoyed. Then these journalists call them and say, hey, we got this story coming up. We've heard you have an issue with him. Do you want to take part? Of course they're going to take part. They've got unresolved feelings, you know? That's the thing I don't understand why people don't get that is possible. They got unresolved feelings about what happened. And that, I guess, the thing to take away from this, if you're a dude, especially if you're a man, the thing to take away from this is try your best not to be a scumbag. It's really hard these days. It just is, because scumbag seem to be rewarded in this society we live in at the moment. The more unscrupulous you are, the more of a dickhead you are, the more of a douchebag you are, the more you lie, the more you steal, the more you cheat. Society and the world at large seems to reward you, right? We already see it with the likes of the Brendan Schaubs, the BRYAN, CALLEN, the Crystalia that I cover on this stream all the time. I know it does reward you, but actually trying your best to not be a piece of shit will avoid you so many issues. It's such the truth. I swear to God, it's really hard. It's so hard not to do, because the easiest thing to do when somebody asks you a question, have you ever met Kanye West, and you're in a celebrity party, is to lie. The easiest thing to say that is just like, yeah, I have, to make yourself feel like a big guy in the room. But if you actually say the truth, no, I haven't, but I would love to meet him. He's one of my idols. I look up to him. I've molded my whole career around him, blah, blah, blah. That actually might get you closer to meeting him instead of lying and pretending, because you never know who's in the room. They might be like, oh, you know what? I like your vibe. I'm going to hook you up with this guy and you'll meet him tomorrow. That's what you should do. And if you're in a relationship with women, or even if you're just smashing them, even if you're just on some Andrew Tate thing, just, you know, run through and dash, try and treat every woman you meet or you interact with some level of respect, at least the respect that they're giving to you. Don't leave things horrible if you can. Don't treat people badly just because you can get away with it. Like, try and be a gentleman in all points of your life, even if you're fucking some random whore behind a bin. Just because she's a whore doesn't mean you have to devalue her as a person and make them feel horrible. At least make the experience good, you know? Whisper into her ear, kiss her cheek or something, you know? Make her feel good. Send her a text the next day and say, hey, that was amazing, whatever, right? Like, treat people nice. And then in the end, in the future, when you end up blowing up and stuff, like, I don't know, I would much rather, right, be somebody who, like, is chill and whatever and treats people nicely. And then when I blow up, all these random people come up and just start saying, you know what? I'm happy he did blow up. I'm happy he became successful because this guy was a good guy. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe this random time I bumped into him in a bar and we had shots. Like, why don't these guys have those kind of stories? Big up Uche, appreciate you.
It's so funny, all these dudes outside of the Matrix all say the same thing when they're found out for sex crimes. The Matrix is planning a coordinated attack on me. He's attacking me. Luana voice.
Big up Luana, my baby. Big up Luana. Big up Luana. He's attacking me. He's attacking me. He's not letting me. Oh, that girl is fucking incredible, man. How did she make all the guys' dicks hard, but then all the guys' dicks soft. She made it all hard when she came on stream and was acting herself. And then remember she did that other stream in MMA holes and started talking about the rods and stuff. Everybody like shriveled up. Do you know what I mean? Like she's a menace, man. So big up Luana. But now, Uche, you're completely right. And this goes to my other point. I'm gonna say for later on. Let's just stick to the wing stuff. I'm gonna make my last point here, move on. But that's the funny thing, like. I think that whole Matrix thing, right? I don't know how to describe it. I was trying to think of it earlier today. That whole, oh, the Matrix is coming after me, mainstream media are trying to take me down, which I think is more of an Alex Jones thing. I think Alex Jones started that, right? To excuse his like horrible decisions and maybe some fuck shit he did. It's always a cabal of people in the establishment and whatever trying to take him down. I think it's like it's a weird like Jesus complex to it, don't you think? There's a weird Jesus Messiah cocky arrogance to that idea that you think you matter that much, that these people in the shadowy corridors of government are trying to take you down. It requires a level of like delusion in a way, to think of yourself that big of a guy. Because there's conspiracy people that obviously think it's true, but I think those guys are using it as like oh, I'm such a big deal, they would do this to me. And also, of course, it's to kind of rally up your troops, but it's a very strange thing to go as a defense. Because if it's me and I'm Chris, and I'm sorry, I always say Chris and I say Russell, but if I'm Russell Brand, I think I didn't do it. Just stand on the fact that you didn't do it. Say, every accusation that's levied against me, I can provide evidence and proof that I did not do this, and the ones that I cannot, I'll try my best to meet these people face to face and see what we can do to talk about these issues. But you just stand on the truth that you didn't do it. You don't need to involve the whole, like, they're trying to come after me, don't listen. Like, that's weird. Like, if anything, him coming out and saying what he said, the first clip is what fucked him. Because that made him look super guilty. He seemed so panicky, so frantic, the lies and stuff. It was just, yeah, exactly, Uche. They think they're martyrs. Like, don't get me wrong. Russell Brand 10 years, that's the thing. If you're not from the UK, maybe it's different. Maybe in the US, obviously you had a bit of him because he's in the movies. But in the UK, Russell Brand was a big deal. Because I think if I remember correctly, he also blew up around the time Big Brother was on TV. The first couple of times, so he kind of rode that wave, So Russell Brand was a massive dude on back in the day, and also people forget Russell Brand also was his timing was like around Big Brother, reality TV stuff, and he also was a bit of a hero in the pickup artist community. I don't know if Coiler remembers this because he knows about that community from back in the day, but Russell Brand was a bit of a pickup artist icon back in the day. Because of how he used to do the whole flirting thing on TV and stuff. People used to love Russell Brand. So he had a big fan base. So if you want to kill him back then, fair enough. But Russell Brand now, like, let's be fair. Like, come on, bro. You're not that big of a deal. It's not that deep, But yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to speak on it too much because there's so much to talk about. But again, if you want more information, we go to that. I'm going to shamelessly shill. Make sure you join the Patreon. I've got a clip on there and I'm going to be doing more in a week. So definitely jump on that. Anyway, going back to Wings of Redemption. Wings, for some reason, likes to piss with the door open while he's on stream. And he leaves both doors open. So this is the room he streams in. There's a toilet, I think, on this side, on the right-hand side away from his direction. And he leaves both doors open. He leaves his streaming room open and his toilet door open, and he pisses super loud, and you can hear it through the mic. But then he also likes to chew into the mic while he's, and he's a big dude, so he's always eating. So it's like, is he doing this to punish his viewers? Is he doing this because, why not? It's his fucking house. Like, what's going on here? Is it like a weird control thing? Like, what's happening? Why does he do this when all his fans hate it? Please let me know in the comments or in the chat below.
Get throw water. I'm not gonna be here for the ban phase. Make sure we ban something.
Jesus Christ, bro. I don't know if I could be on camera if I was that big. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I could be on camera if I was that big. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I'd probably not leave the house. Can you hear that? Comes back after pissing. Didn't wash his hands, by the way. Lovely. Jesus Christ, bro. But it's interesting how fat affects people differently, right? He's got zero ass. His arms are pretty skinny considering how fat he is. You know, like, it's an odd thing how weirdly fat affects people. He doesn't have much of a double chin. He has a big face, don't get me wrong. But his body proportions are so all over the place when it comes to fat. Fat really does affect people differently. When I get big, my thighs get big, my ass gets big, my back gets bigger, but he just seems to get big only in his midsection. He kind of has that dog body thing going on. Here goes the eating in the mic. And I love the little, like, I don't know if you guys have ever been fat before, but I have a period where I was a chunky monkey, right? And I remember there was a period when you're a chunky monkey when you're at work. You'll have like snacks in your, like, especially if you work in an office shop. Oh, big up Nerd Affiliate. I appreciate you, brother.
I finally made a live show. Shout out to everyone eating Cheetos at PF Chang's.
Big up all the Cheeto eating homeless cats in PF Chang's out in the alleyway, you know, fighting for the scraps that are getting chucked out from the fucking line cooks and shit. Big up the line cooks sweating their ass off, letting all their fucking immigrant tears, you know, seep into the fucking flat cooker grill thing, whatever, as they're dishing up the fucking munch, right? Big up all the chefs, you know, dashing the sesame seed all over the fucking orange chicken. Big up all of you guys out there. We're here, we're live, we're ready to go. I don't know if you guys have ever been fat and chunky, but I have, right? And one of the things that happens when you're fat and chunky, you're very self-aware when you're eating, especially when you're in front of people or you're around people. And one thing that I used to do when I was in an office job, I would always have like you're in your desk. I'd have maybe a little drawer, and I'd have a little bag there with stuff. So I'd go to the shops, I'll get my lunch, and I'd always, you know, when you're fat, you always eat more than you need, obviously, because you're fat. So you have your sandwich and your drink or whatever, but you have little things. You might have a pack of cookies, you might have some donuts or whatever, a croissant, and you have those in a bag, and you'll take little nibbles. And usually you do biscuits because they're easy to take out of the packet, but you'll never take things out of the bag. You always just like have your hand like rummaging in packets, taking little nibbles like you're not eating too much. And Wings does the same thing. He takes little bites of his burger, folds, covers it, and then puts it down. And then when they ask him on stream, why do you do that? He says, oh, because I had a gastric bypass and my belly's not big enough. It's like, shut up. It's not. It's just because you feel subconscious. So you don't want to look like you're eating too much. You take little bites like, I'm not that hungry. It's like, bruv, you are always hungry. That's why you look the way you do. Like, tell me in the chat, does that not ignore you? Because I've never ever eaten on this stream ever, and I never will. I just don't understand why the streamers can't just turn their mic off. If you're gonna sit down and eat in front of, which I don't understand, it's odd. Why not just like turn the microphone off? Why do you have to like make sounds? Why do you have to like into the mic directly? Like slurping shit. Like, I don't understand this. Like, what is, like, I understand people not wanting their viewers to leave, but it's not that deep. Just, in my opinion, maybe because I've been raised differently and I believe in sitting down on the table. Like, I hate eating standing up and shit. If I'm out and about, I'll rather sit on a curb or a bench and just eat my fucking sandwich. I don't care what I look like, but I'm not walking around like a fucking savage eating food. I'm too grown for that. Why don't you just like stop your stream or pause it or put on a video and sit down on your table and eat for 20 minutes? Your fans probably will end up waiting if they're big enough. If you're small enough, it doesn't fucking matter anyway. But why are there people eating in a mic? I don't get it. It's so odd. Eating live is so guttural. Hassan does it. That makes me insane. Eating is gross. Yeah. And Hassan is Hassan Abi, Abba, whatever his name is. He's huge. Why does he even bother if like 200 people leave? It doesn't fucking matter. Just like leave the stream on, eat, and then come back in the stream. It's not that big of a deal. Why do you have to like sit there and eat into the mic as he's like doing a reaction, right? Like, come on, man. I got my Beat Studio Pro. Exactly. Imagine that, Uche. Fucking, you know, noise cancelling fucking headphones on that you can hear everything, and you hear them like, come on, bro. Have some respect for your audience, bro. I don't get these people. Honestly, I don't understand this. It really doesn't make no sense to me. Anyways, what can you do?
Would I rather be eaten to death by fire ants or worms? Fire ants.
Just chewing into the mic.
It's a viciously cold McDouble.
Also, does anybody else just order McDonald's and forget about it and eat it later? That's a fat guy thing, right? He must just order a lot. I've never ordered McDonald's home and forgot that I have a burger. I always just eat it when it arrives. How could you have just like a burger lying around? It's just lying around. A McDouble just lying around. A chicken mix, like what? I'm waiting. When I order a Big Mac, I can't wait to shove it down my fucking throat. I can't wait to have it in my fucking belly. Why am I going to leave it just hanging around in the fucking cardboard box? Like, I don't get it. You know, it's really odd. Oh, and by the way, someone said it, Tyler Ghost. I'm ashamed to say this, but the other day, went for a bit of a walk and ended up getting a fucking cheeseburger, single patty from a McDonald's on the way home, right? And I got a little cold coffee. Because I'm so used to ordering McDonald's from home, because I don't usually go and order it out unless I'm going on a night out and I'm on my way back home. But usually, again, if you jump in an Uber, you don't want to then stop the Uber driver to drop you somewhere. Nowadays, Uber drivers don't let you have stops in the middle. If you have your locations home, they take you home. If you don't go to McDonald's, you have to stop the ride. So it's the first time I've ordered from a McDonald's inside of a store myself in a long time. Tyler Ghost is right. McDonald's, when you order it inside the store and you take it and you eat it, is so much better than when it sits in somebody's fucking backpack and it comes to you 20 minutes later. It honestly is food that can only be eaten right as it's been made. And you can't even heat it up really. It doesn't work even heating it up. It's way better when you get it in the store. That single burger that I had, just a single patty and stuff, it hit way better than anything I've ever had in my life. I swear to God. It was like, wow, bro. I can't believe I fucking ordered this stuff at home all the time. It's way better to just eat it there. I swear to God it is. Much, much, much better to do that. But, you know, convenience sometimes and being lazy, being a fat, lazy piece of shit can make you just order stuff on a Deliveroo or whatnot and just sit at home and make that easier. But yeah, big up ginormous Uber driver.
Does anyone have McDonald's just laying around? Smiley face.
Yeah, but come on. You know what I mean, bro. Like, big up you, man. Thank you for the super chat, but you know what I mean. When's the last time you've ordered anything from a delivery app and you just forgot about it? Oops. Had some chicken wings lying around. Oops. A pizza I forgot to eat. Like, who raised you, you know? Who raised you? How do you have stuff lying around? Like, honestly. Anyway, you can see I'm sweating because I've got all these lights on right now. But hey, I'm trying to keep this stuff well lit. Let's see what I want to talk about. So I finally got around to watching Traplo Ross's new 6-hour documentary on NBA YoungBoy. And I have to say, a little bit underwhelming. Don't know if you guys have watched it. It's a little bit underwhelming and it wasn't his fault. I just think, unfortunately, it's very difficult to make an entertaining documentary about gangsters and, you know, rappers that do dirt when the rapper involved maybe is very careful, or the bodies that he allegedly has, you can't make real direct links to him. Because that's what I think made the King Vaughn documentary so special. Because he was just a savage. He was legitimately like, you know, I think Traplo Ross describes him as a serial killer. But I think with NBA YoungBoy, because everything is kind of like alleged and it's all like into gang politics and little personal beefs, it all kind of feels... Hey, big up Abby Martinez, appreciate the super chat, brother.
Working double shifts, eat the other burger later.
Yes, you know about the double shifts of the burger, mate. Flip those patties, brother. Flip those patties. I remember once working in a fucking kitchen of a bowling alley, serving chicken nuggets, and we used to have this thing we made. I don't know if you have it in America. You probably do. It's like it's a baguette, and you use this machine or this utensil. You stuff it into the top of the baguette, right? Sort of like that rod that Luana probably used on BGL, right? One of those rods, you stuff that rod in there, right? And then you kind of twist it, and it takes out all the stuffing on the inside of bread. And then you're meant to stuff a hot dog in there. No, sorry. And then you take the stuffing out, then you get ketchup or mustard, and you swirl it on the inside. Then you stuff the hot dog inside, and you serve it. And I used to work in this Hollywood Bowl. It was like a bowling alley place. And I'd be serving people, and then I'd be running back to the kitchen to go make it. And I think my salary must have been like £6 an hour, or maybe that, just about that. It was my first job I ever got. And I remember when I did that job for like a month straight. I did it for like 5 days a week for a month. And I got my paycheck end of the month, and I nearly cried. It was like £397. And I worked like 12-hour days, 5 days a week. I was like, oh my God. That's when I decided to get serious at school. That's when I thought, you know what? I can't end up here. I can't do this. I remember I did one whole month, 5 days a week, nearly 12-hour shifts, right? Opening and closing, working in this fucking thing, serving people, running back in the kitchen and making the food. And I got in the end of the month like £379. I was nearly crying, like with pain, like, oh my God, this is not going to go anywhere, right? This is enough for like one pair of trainers. This is like one pair of Jordans I could get with this. Like, I'm fucked. And the only good thing about it was the customers were really nice. Because I was a kid at the time, I think the customers realized I was doing it on my own. So they was always patient. They never like, were shouting at me to hurry up, because I'd be literally taking their money. Okay, you want 6 nuggets, some chips, and this hot dog thing. And I'll be running to the back to go make it. I'll be coming in and out. Like, I lost a lot of weight. I was fucking in the best shape I've ever been in my life, but $397, bro. 5 days a week, 12-hour days. Like, God Almighty, man. Every time I think about flipping burgers and making nuggets, I think about that day. Coming back home, smelling of oil and shit. Oh. And I don't know if you guys have ever worked in those kind of places. When you start, you always like start making food for yourself. You're like always like, oh yeah, this is sick. I can make my own meals. After a while, you just get sick of it. I stopped eating the food. I just stopped bringing it home. I just stopped. Like, I got fed up of it. It was making me fucking ill being around all that stuff all the time. It doesn't last long, the whole like novelty of being able to make what you want. It's like, it's all frozen shit anyway. You see it coming in these industrial bags in the morning. You know what I mean? That you have to kind of throw in the fridge. Oh shit. Anyway, going back to this, right? I found the NBA YoungBoy documentary to be not as hard-hitting or, much of a blockbuster or box office as the King Vaughn one was, because King Vaughn was a little bit more reckless. He was the type of person that was catching bodies, then rapping about them, then tweeting about them, and just moving mad reckless. And because he was really about that life. And obviously, NBA YoungBoy maybe, but it's a little bit more rah-rah. There's more baby mama drama than anything to do with other rappers. It's mostly political, and it's very hard to connect the bodies to him. So it wasn't as hard hitting as I thought it would be. But I think overall, these kind of documentaries, the one thing they do in my eyes is that they do demonstrate, or at least illustrate, why people are fans of these artists. I think a lot of their kind of fandom is based on how real they are. That's the unfortunate vicious circle that exists. Like, both of these guys have benefited from the allure that they're really about this life. Like, what they rap about, they actually do. So in order to become more successful, you kind of have to keep doing loads of crazy shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if very soon, again, I don't want to put a bad shit out there, it wouldn't surprise me very soon we see NBA YoungBoy getting involved in something kind of crazy, because this documentary didn't paint him out to be the most vicious, savage guy that exists. So in order to kind of keep that mystique and keep that rep and image up, he's going to go out and probably do something, or something's going to happen, and then it'll kind of continue on his legend, which unfortunately may end up leading to incarceration or, RIPing. But that's the unfortunate place you put yourself when you become like a gangster rapper. It just is what it is. Like, it only works when you're a gangster anyway. We saw what happened with 6ix9ine. The moment we saw 6ix9ine in a courtroom snitching on his friends and stuff, it ruined his image to all of us, even us regular civilians that have never flipping been in a gang, never been in a fight, don't know anything about gang politics. It ruined your reputation. You don't recover from that sort of stuff. So these guys need that sort of like rep to be around them to kind of make sense. But it was quite eye-opening to see the other stuff that's involved in, because most stuff I don't know about. If anything, I think Traplo Ross, if anything, I would prefer to see more from him, which I think is risky to do, because I think there are smaller channels out there. I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head, but there are smaller channels that are a little bit more, I wouldn't even call it journalistic, but they do a little bit more work. They dig in a bit deeper. They're talking to people connected. They got information that you won't find on Reddit and shit and stuff, and they put them in the documentaries, and they maybe come to their own conclusions. I think maybe he needs to have a little bit more of his own voice and a little bit more digging into stuff that we don't know about, because he's really good at kind of collating all this sort of information and telling you what's happening, right? If you don't know, it's a good little introduction to these people. But I think more investigative stuff needs to happen. But when you start doing that stuff, you then get in the tricky place that 1090 Jake is in now, where 1090 Jake is starting to become an op for a lot of these guys, because it seems like he's going out of his way to uncover snitches, when he started off being a guy reporting on really fucked up things that happen in the hood and talking about them in detail and sort of like having a lot of sympathy with the victims. He's now turned into like trying to expose rappers, which is not the way you want to go. So maybe if Traplo Ross does try to get a bit more investigative and a bit more journalistic with his approach and digging in deep and finding out things you can't find online or Reddit and shit, it might put more of a target on his back, and it might look like he's trying to bring certain people down. So maybe that's why he doesn't do it. I'm not too sure, but I would like that approach from him going forward, if that's possible. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty decent. Like you can see here, I watched basically most of it. I finished the rest of the half on my phone. Pretty wild how I was able to get through a 6-hour documentary. Isn't this proof alone that whole thing about podcasting going down because there's too many podcasts, isn't that false? Don't you think that's ridiculous? Because this so far, from 6 days ago, this video that's 6 hours long has got 1.5 million views. This one before from King Vaughn has 8.54 million views over 5 months, and it's 3.5 hours long. Doesn't it prove that it disproves the whole theory that these comedy podcasts have, that there's too many podcasts and it's over? No, it's not. It's just your podcast is shit. We tune out. I found a way to listen to this, even in bits. I don't listen to it all in one sitting, but I found out a way to listen to an entire 6-hour YouTube video or watch it. So if I can do that, why can't we do it with podcast comedian ones or whatever the ones exist out there? It's because they're all terrible for the most part, right? They've all fallen by the wayside. They've all just, from what we've seen with the podcast one shit and the cast media shit, they took the money and rested on their laurels. I think this proves that if you have time, like the Oppenheimer is a good example. I watched the entirety of Oppenheimer without pulling out my phone once. I only pulled it out at the end of the credits to take a picture so I could like memorialize myself watching it. But I never pulled out my phone once when I watched Oppenheimer. So that's proof that if you make something entertaining, you make something that's good to watch, people will watch it. Simple as that. There is no like, oh, it's the crowd, it's the industry, it's the climate, it's the DA. It's like, shut up with your excuses, make better things, and then trust that your audience will find it. Simple as that. There is no other excuse out there. It doesn't exist. I don't believe it. I really don't, because I ended up watching this shit. So big up the content creators out there making absolutely good things, and hope to see more of it. But I also understand why it's a little bit of a dicey situation to get involved in, because once you start reporting on too much gang stuff, you can sometimes insert yourself in things that you have no business inserting yourself into. And who wants that smoke? Who wants that free smoke? You know what I mean? Who wants that? Nobody. I know I don't. Anyway, moving on from that one. Just going back on this whole podcast one thing, just touching on it again. I know it's a bit old news, just touching on it again. You know what's really surprised me about this thing that I thought was really interesting and kind of spoke to a lot of what's been happening and a lot of maybe the egos that we see on these podcasts and the just unwillingness to listen to the fans and all this sort of stuff. I think a lot of this has to do with money. I really, really do. Now that we know that Cast Media was essentially overpaying their talent, it makes a lot of sense why a lot of these guys felt like they didn't answer to nobody, because essentially to them, the people in the industry were the ones who were dictating their worth, and they assumed, or they basically put a figure next to them in terms of the ad spend, which kind of was to them a validation on how good or successful they were as a comedian. And it does explain a little bit for me why the dip in quality was so stark. Like a lot of these pods all started off well. I can't think of one podcast, even Whitney Cummings is one. I can't think of one comedy podcast that didn't start off well. They all started off amazing. came out the blocks flying. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Yeah. I've got a new pod. These comedians are funny. Oh my God. Yeah. And then as soon as the money hit and the sponsors started coming in, DraftKings, you start having Liquid Death on the table, all this fucking shit. Boom. It all goes downhill. It was all like most of them. The only one I can think of that didn't have that drastic downhill kind of crash was maybe Joe. Joe felt like a little bit more of a gradual kind of descent into shitness. It's still a bit decent, but his one felt more gradual, like it happened over a number of years. The other guys, it felt like it happened like sharply. As soon as they got deals with Cast Media, or whatever it may be at the time, it just fell off a cliff. And then, you know, when you think about how the fans reacted to it falling off a cliff and, you know, talking to them, like, for instance, like the Your Mom's House podcast, every time you go on the Reddit, people are complaining about the ads. People complain about Two Bears, One Cave and Bert Crash always interrupting and saying the same stories all over again and Christina P being annoying and blah, 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 blah. They don't listen to anything. If anything, Tom Segura will get on camera and just start scolding his fans for being poor and broke and not getting it. They don't buy it. Why? Because they're getting so much fucking money that it essentially insulates and, you know, and makes them silence out what you have to say. Because in a way, I understand it. In a way, I kind of get it, because in their heads, they're thinking, hey, I'm getting paid all this money. If I'm getting paid all this money, I can't suck. It's impossible. How can I suck if I'm getting all this money? It's a sort of confidence that Brendan had at the beginning when it was like, you remember that rant about homeless cats? Like, you guys you couldn't fathom what it's like to put together a podcast, a comedy set, and blah, 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 blah. Because he was getting employed by Showtime. He had stuff on TMZ. He was doing ridiculousness with fucking, what's his name? With Rob Dyrdek and shit. The podcast is booming. All the appearances on Rogan. Think how he's gonna see it from Brendan Schaub's eyes. Why should he listen to some spotty fucking Redditor or some random black guy on stream? Why would you listen to me? It doesn't make any sense. But then that also, I think, alienated a part of the fan base. So if anything, the money that these guys made was life-changing. It allowed them to finally pursue comedy with a carefree, because I think there is a part of me that thinks a lot of these guys need this level of money to kind of approach comedy in a more of a carefree way to maybe get better comedy. It hasn't helped really, because what's in my eyes, right, this is a very idealistic way to look at artistry, right? I feel like if you're an artist, you should always use your money to just make your art better, right? So you take the money that you make and you just pour it back into what you do. Like, I sometimes take whatever you guys send here. I'm buying fucking, you know, lighting things. I'm buying better camera, well, not cameras. I haven't upgraded my camera yet, but a better microphone. I'm trying to buy headphones. Most of them are fucking shit. But you try and invest back into what you're doing, whatever way you want to do, right? But I feel like sometimes with these comedians, what they should have done is that they should have used the kind of the buffer that the podcast money gave them. Like, if you're making, like on this thing, they say Whitney Cummings, who's I think one of the worst podcasts in the whole comedy scene, right? It's fucking garbage, right? And she's a very hard person to even kind of like as a human being. But she says in this article that she's owed at least $350,000. If that's me and I'm Whitney, and she already comes from money as well, let's think about it, put that into perspective. But if I'm Whitney and I don't know about that about her, I'm using that buffer, that bit of like room, that bit of runway to allow me to take more chances on my comedy. Because I know I'm not relying on doing a gig at the fucking Ha-Ha in order to fucking put money in my bank account in order to pay my rent or to put food on the table. I know that my podcast is allowing me to kind of take chances on my flipping on my comedy. That's what I would do, and I'll take more chances, whether it means, you know, different subject matters, whether it means going on tour to different places to get more inspiration, whether it means doing different tours, whether it means doing a tour just for the sake of it, just to kind of touch the fans, whatever. Just try something fresh and new. But they don't. If anything, the podcasting made them more lazy. Who would have thought that? The podcast money and the buffer that it gave them made them lazier. They doubled down on making more podcasts, which to add more money, which then stretched them thin, which then weren't that great. And then they spent less time actually on flipping. They spend less time on actual stage doing comedy bits and shit. Spend less time going on the road or getting up on stage. It's weird, isn't it? I honestly thought they would use that money, use that opportunity to kind of be a little bit more, you know, take a few more chances and shit. But if anything, no, it's just the same old shit. It all went to fucking shit. So maybe the person to really blame for the decline of podcasting isn't the pandemic, isn't people returning back to work, it might be fucking Cast Media. Cast Media may have fucked up the whole thing, because if you believe what Callen said, they don't do any research, comedians, about finding out what good podcasting networks to join or who's good for ads. They just talk to each other in the parking lot of these clubs, and then they all found out, oh, this Cast Media place was paying this amount. So they all got giddy-eyed. Oh my God, how much they're paying you? And they all went there. But they didn't know Cast Media was overpaying them to get them on board, in the thinking that Colin Thompson guy, that he wanted to sell the company. He always wanted to sell it. He was never going to stay there for the long term. He always wanted to front load, get all these big names on his flipping network advertising thing he's got, and then sell it on or go public with all those guys on board to add value to what he's already got. So they always overpaid. They never gave them the fucking industry standard or what they were actually worth. They overpaid them. These podcasters got delusions of grandeur and thought that rate was actually what they were owed or what they deserved because of how big they are. And then boom, the fucking podcast bubble does burst because they're all doubling down like what Brendan did. Brendan just heard the number. What he heard, like 300 or 250, whatever it was, and just thought, hold on, if I do command copy on this podcast and do command V, and do 4 others and get the same ad rates for the other 4, I'm a millionaire in a year. And he did it, and that's what he did, and here we are. So I think we have to blame Cast Media for the decline of podcasting. We have to blame Cast Media. It's crazy to say this, but I think it's true. Moving on from that one, what to say? Oh, I watched the fucking Colorado Buffaloes v Colorado State the other day. I watched parts of it here and there because I was up super late, and I kind of get football now, man. It was really entertaining, kind of long, but really entertaining. Colorado Buffaloes were down at one point, then they drew, then they kept coming back again. It was a very, very entertaining football match to watch, and I enjoyed every part of it. But I didn't know that football could get so dirty. I didn't know that it could get so dirty. The Rams were playing dirty, bro. They came to really upset the Buffalo's rhythm. They weren't trying to make them, they weren't trying to give them space to dance or to do their thing. They were hitting them hard off the ball, little stamps and shit. It was kind of wild. I was surprised there wasn't a more severe injury than what that Travis kid got. The Travis kid, I think he had some sort of he's got some sort of, what does Stephen A say? He's got some sort of lacerated rib thing going on, right? When you got hit after the ball. But big up that kid though. He hear his response. He was like, this is football, it happens, no big deal. When you're on that pitch, like people are gonna get hit hard on that field, sorry. If I was him, I would have done probably the same thing. Like he kind of was really grown up about it. I swear, I was like, okay, fair play, because he was that kid is getting abused all over the place. There was a footballer on the Rams. Can somebody explain to me, please, how there's a footballer on the Rams that's 31 years old? There was a man playing for Colorado State that was 31. I think he might have been the punter or the kicker, whatever it's called. He was 31 years of age. How can you play for a college team when you're 31? Amazing. I was like, shit, that's really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to play for a college team, mate. I'll be like, fuck it, let's go. Let's go, it's lit. Try to act like the kids. I would fucking love it. I'll be all over it, man. He's living the dream. He's fucking living the dream. You get to smash cheerleaders and shit, like, wow, it'd be your favorite. Get people to put you on their shoulders. Oh man, honestly, I fucking love it. But my favorite story is that walk-on from the Buffaloes. I forgot his name. I wish I remember the people's names. Who's the walk-on? Hopefully he gets a scholarship. What's his name? Is it 11? That's him, Harrison, Michael Harrison. He's my favorite, man. That story of him being a walk-on and being so vital to what they do is fucking amazing. All of it is fucking great. I enjoyed every part of it. I enjoyed the end when everybody rushes the field and shit. I think it's fucking amazing, man. Honestly, I really fucking love it. I'm enjoying football. I'm enjoying watching football. I'm not going to lie. I get why it's so enjoyable. The crowd, the people in the stadium going crazy for it. It's really, really fun. I'm not going to lie. I really have enjoyed it. But yeah, let's see what happens going forward in the next game going forward. Let's see. Anyway, moving on from that. What should we talk about here? Okay, let's wait for this and then I'll carry on. Bumpity. What are you saying in the chat, you guys? Need to see AZ hitting the Gritty. Yeah, Gritty. Yes, yes, yes. You know, I'll be there, bro. I'll be there. On their head tops, brother. On their head tops. Yeah, I'm out here, man. I'm a football head now, man. You might see me like Brendan Shaw. I'm gonna come on stream every stream with different jerseys, repping. Repping. every stream, different jerseys, repping for my team, repping for my set. You feel me? Bear with me a second as I try and get my next thing up on it. Oh yeah, cool. We'll do the 6-9 thing. We'll do the 6-9 thing. Let's do that. Or maybe do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Have you guys seen this post? Big up the Fire and the Kid subreddit, guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. This is an interesting post, isn't it? Look at this. How did being successful go? Oh, big up Matt Randazzo.
Red shirt rules allow much older players to play well past normal university-aged players. Out here in Colorado.
Big up, man. Red shirt. Okay, yeah. Well, make me a red shirt then, Matt. Make me a fucking red shirt. I bleed blood. I'm red. Make me a red shirt, man. Make me line up with the kids. You know what I mean? And up on the field, we got number 49, Zinger. From the UK. I was like coming through my arse in those fires with my arse just clapping as I run down the field, you know? Just look at him go. That's a rumper shaker if ever I've seen one, Greg. Yeah. That nigga can run. Oops, sorry. Honestly, I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I'll probably be one of those kind of kids. I'll be probably one of those kind of guys in football who I'm distracted. I'm probably thinking about something else. Like I saw some guy in I saw when what's that? I don't know. That's what did I see. I saw like a format where he's like they're in position doing that thing in the beginning. I don't know what the fuck that's called. He just fell over. I'll be one of those kids. I'll just get distracted, or I start complimenting the other guy's cleats. Oh, those are nice. Where do you get those? And then get hit on the side of the head. Oh, that would be fucking cool. But yeah, big up Matt Randanzo. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Moving on. What do you think went wrong for Brendan along this line? Because this is an interesting timeline to see. Big up the Redditor who posted this, because it is a really interesting throwback to see how, you know, how full of life the man looked back in the day. Obviously, this is many years ago, but, you know, the platforms that he was on, right? Breakfast Club during his pomp, on fucking Revolt, and he's absolutely killing it, right? Brendan's killing it at this point, really, really fucking killing it. And somewhere along the line, it just went to shit. What do you think happened? Look at here. He's on a broadcast here for boxing alongside all these greats and fucking Floyd Mayweather, right? There's another clip of him there again doing stuff for, I think, ESPN with Floyd again, or Showtime back in the day. Actually, where's this guy? Is he still doing boxing coverage? Paul something, right? Is it Paul Magdalani? I forgot his name. Boxer, right? Paul Magda something. What's happened to him? Is he still doing broadcasting and shit? Brendan's there looking really good in his suit, looking like $1 million, slim, face not puffy. You've got him as well, him on the Rich Eisen show. Remember this? Rich Eisen show. He's still there doing good stuff over there. You got him on E, right? And then you've got him again with Rogan. What do you guys think happened to Brendan to like get off of this course? What do you think happened? My theory is this. I feel like he overestimated, or he kind of thought too much of himself, which is weird to say. He thought too much of himself and he didn't stay in his lane. Strange to say this, but I think if he would have stayed in his lane, if he would have just been happy being a podcaster who from time to time would be invited to do like color commentary on, like, you know, fights that had to do with UFC fighters or social media guys, and just to keep stuck to podcasting, he would have been fine. He spread himself too thin. He thought he could do commentary. He thought he could do color commentary. He thought he could do like hosting, whatever, new stuff, and obviously do the podcast at the same time, and he can't. He doesn't have the mental acumen or the talent to do that. He spread himself too thin. If he just was stuck to doing his own podcast, The Fire and the Kid, and an MMA show, or just join them both, because I personally think he shouldn't ever do an MMA show. I think, if anything, because the show is called The Fire and the Kid, you should always put both of them together. It should be half of a show talking about current events and comedy stuff, and then the other half of the show should be about talking about fights and maybe funny stories and previewing fight cards coming up. That's all it should be. And then obviously doing the post card fight review when this happened. He should always do the Fight and the Kid, the MMA show on the Fight and the Kid. Forget the fucking SCHAUB show. Just do it all in one. Then, obviously, whenever you get invited to do, like, I don't know, if you want to do like commentary for like an influencer boxing thing, like Happy Punch, all that sort of shit, cool, do it. But don't ever think you're like a professional commentator. You're just somebody that's well known. They want to get on the fucking commentary team because of your notoriety and because you got some social media followers. But it doesn't mean you're like up there with like the John Annick's and all these type of dudes. No, you're just like somebody well known. They want to get on there to add, you know, maybe some extra eyes onto what he does. But it's hard to tell somebody that, isn't it? It's hard to tell somebody, don't do a lot, don't chase your dreams, when really he did it and it gave him the life that he wanted. But I think at what cost, you know? Now everyone kind of doesn't like you, thinks you're a douchebag because you overexpose yourself, you spread yourself too thin, and every job he got, it kind of gave him more ego, more of a cockiness, more arrogance, more bravado, if anything, right? It kind of made him more cocksure, like, okay, cool, now I've got this job, you can't say nothing to me kind of thing. Very, very strange way to go about things. And if you want evidence of that, I've got this old clip that I found of Brendan talking about, when he got hired to do E, and you see some of the arrogance in here. Like, it's kind of funny, to be fair. Yeah, here it is. This is the one. Brendan Schaub talks about his new job at E, right? This is like an old clip. I think it's like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm not too sure. Let's see if it loads up. Bear with me a second. And this is from an old clips channel I think they had. They've had so many clips channels over the years. Or maybe they tried to do like, or maybe it's, you know, when Brendan tried to like fake, because I think his wife does the same thing. His wife has got like a fake account that she kind of uses in trying to pretend like it's somebody running a fan page. So I think he might have done that too back in the day. It's this page here. It's called, what is it called? It's called the Fire and the Kid Army fan account. They tried to make it look like it was a fan account, but it's obviously something that they've made themselves. But anyway, here Brendan's reply, or how he speaks about when he got the job confirmed from E. And like, you know, like the arrogance that if anything, the job should be fine, get it, you're happy about it, but it kind of made him feel like, yeah, you can't talk to me anymore now, haters. Do you know what I mean? I got a job with E, kind of thing. And I think that's what kind of led to his demise, unfortunately. Let's play it.
I'm still waiting for them to release the official press release on it, so I'm told not to say anything till they do, but by the time this comes out, I should be all right. I'm not doing another Big Brown Breakdown this weekend, so Sunday I will be on E. If you're a male and you're listening to this, you're like, E, I get it. Ask your girl. She'll know where to find me.
It's so unnecessary. Ask her girl. I was inside her yesterday. Ask her girl. Why is he saying that? Ask her girl. Ask your mum. That E job made him feel like fucking Ashton Kutcher, bruv, right? That E job made him feel like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? That E job made him feel like Billy Big Balls.
So I'll be on E hosting the after show for the the Golden Globes. So awesome. It'll be me and 2 other people on there, and I am one of the 3 that will be commenting, having fun.
Imagine doing the after show of doing, again, say what you want about these gigs, but he was doing the after show of the Golden Globes, bro, at one point. At one point, his profile was that high enough, like, because most of these jobs, yes, you get them because of your auditions and passing them, but you usually get recommended because of your agency, right? He's on CAA, one of the biggest agencies in the world. And also the fact that you are a notable person in your own little lane. You've made like a name for yourself. You've got a following. So obviously it'll be in the Golden Globes' best interest to get you involved, because you could maybe bring some extra eyes onto what they do. So they'll get you involved. So Brendan was at one point so popular in his own lane, doing his own thing, that they would hire him for that. Imagine. And now look at him. Now look at him. It's crazy, and it's all self-inflicted, bro. It's all self-inflicted.
About fashion and the Golden Globes, so different lane for me. I'm super excited about it. I've been trying to work with E for a long time now, and I've shot pilots for them. I've done auditions for them, and then finally we landed on this. So we'll see what happens. It'll be fun though. So appreciate the support. Tune in. I think it's 8 p.m. Pacific on E, the TV channel E, and that's right after the Golden Globe. So tune on in, kids.
And also, this is maybe me just saying it on the spot. Don't you feel like he actually wanted to always be that guy anyway? If this would have taken off for him, he would have maybe been happy to do that hosting thing. Like, that's where his eyes has always been, because I think Brendan always sees himself as a celebrity. He's always kind of needed that kind of recognition. As much as he pretends like he's not, he's always wanting to be famous. So it probably hurts more nowadays that he's not even at the level of fame now where he can kind of get those kind of jobs anymore. He just has to stick to podcasting, stand-up comedy. But he seems way more passionate and interested about doing the hosting thing and being around those type of people than he does with anything else he talks about. Do you know what I mean? He really did enjoy being in that kind of scene, and he just kind of fucked it for himself, really. But god damn it, bro. Again, I know it's age and it's a long time ago. It's 5 years ago or whatever it is, right? 2018. Is that 5 years ago or is that more? 2018 is what, 5 years ago? Oh my god, my throat's going crazy. Yeah, 5 years ago. So, yeah, it's a long time and we all look different 5 years ago. But god, bro, look how much of a dime piece he looks here. Like, he legitimately could say he's handsome there. He legitimately say he's Mr. Steal Your Girl, right? Arms, face, right? Look how skinny his legs are here. Just his whole frame overall. The lack of puffiness. He's only got one cup next to him. Is also no massive fucking tumbler full of whiskey. Like, if anything, Brendan should be a cautionary tale for all of us, myself included, to be very cautious of how you do with drugs. Actually, something I might actually play here next. Like, to be, to kind of just be, to do everything in kind of balance if you can, in moderation, because Brendan let himself go in a way that it's weird, because it only happened in his like mid-30s where he suddenly started to drink and go out a bit more and do all these other drugs and stuff, and then it obviously affected him in a really big way, more so than I think other people. It's very, very strange how quickly it happened over a short space of time. But I think people always say about alcohol, it is kind of the silent killer anyway. It does kind of affect you like that. Very, very weird. So yeah, what a strange situation to be in. But hey, what can you do when it comes to that sort of stuff? And then I want to also play another video here. Maybe let's play this one, because I haven't seen this one. This is an older one too. It's called Bryan and Brendan react to Jean-Claude Van Damme head kicking Cody Garbrandt. Let's see what he's saying here. Let's get it on the screen. Bear with me a second. There you go. There you go.
Jean-Claude Van Damme against Cody Garbrandt. Did you see this?
It says when sparring goes wrong.
So they sparred together. They were just jokingly sparring together, and then Van Damme accidentally kicked him in the head or the teeth.
And what's Garbrandt do?
You'll hear him talking about it right now. To me, it looks super light. So then,
Did Cody just go motherfucker?
he wanted to fight him. Boom. So Van Damme tried to apologize. He wouldn't accept.
That hook kick right in the teeth. And I was like, wow. And I was like, so mad. I look over at Rob and I looked at John. I was like, Rob, keep this away from me.
He just kicked you in the
face?
face?
Kicked me in my teeth, dude. Kicked me in my teeth, like playing around. Like,
That's what I say here.
Cody is not the guy to do that to, man.
no, he's not.
Yeah.
Rinks has always looked 60, innit? Even when he was like 40. Brendan's definitely aged a lot. But Rinks has always looked like he's kind of like happy in that regard, because he's just stuck at this age. He's always kind of looked 10 years older than what he's always is, kind of thing. That's kind of a good thing. But I'm happy he got rid of that little fucking Pepe Le Pew or whatever that fucking thing, that cartoon was. That little quiff, that little duck's tail thing. I'm happy he got rid of that shit, because that was so annoying. He always thought that gave him a little bit of volume or whatever, but it just made him look odd. Happy he got rid of that.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Jean-Claude?
No, he's not.
How funny it would have been if you just murked Jean-Claude Van Damme right
This
there.
guy who he's a 35 pounder. He was at Gloveworks, big guy, 35, and he's like walks around at 165, and he was sparring with people, and they asked me if I wanted to get in.
Oh yeah, of course. And everybody loves to hear Bryan talk about him fighting, innit? Like this is one of the parts. Even back in there when I used to listen to the Fire and the Kid, I used to skip these parts so quickly. Hearing Brendan doing the fucking, hearing Bryan talk about fucking fighting people. Like, bro, come on, man, please.
The ring with him, and I go, no, I'm okay. I'm not going to get in the ring with that guy. He's fighting right now, and
yeah, Uche. Bappa is at the redacted version of Icarus. He flew too close to the sun, and his wings melted. Exactly. That's it. Honestly, I think. But again, it takes a lot of self-awareness, right? To say, I'm going to be the jock. I'm going to be the lovable, redacted jock. I know I look at the guy, because he says a lot of line. I look at the guy that bullied you in high school. All right, cool, whatever. Just use that to your advantage and be the lovable, redacted jock. Like, and kind of lean into how dumb you are. Like, get the names wrong on purpose. Like, oh, really? Did I get that wrong? Oh, sorry. I thought it was Vinny. I thought it was Vinny Diesel. It's not Vinny Diesel, it's Vin. Oh, okay, my bad. You kind of use it as a stick to kind of run with, right? And then you make loads of money from that because you're a fucking lovable, redacted jock. But he has so much insecurity, he can't seem to be dumb. He doesn't want to. Oh my God. Thank you, someone. Doyd. That's what Shane is doing. Exactly. And guess what, Doyd, about Shane? Shane is smarter than what he lets on. You can hear it by his comedy, and you can hear it when they used to do that history podcast they do. I'm not sure if they still do it. Do they still do that history podcast, remember? There was a period where they were doing a history podcast. I think it was during the pandemic. Shane is smart as fuck, but he pretends he's not. That's what regular people do. You don't wave your fucking intellect around people's faces or wave your intellect in their face like it's a dick and shit. No, you absolutely just be humble about it and chill. But you're actually smarter than what you look, but you act like an idiot. Like Shane acts like Bert. Right, but he's way smarter than Bert would ever be. But he just kind of, because it's easy to get around life and just chill by being the lovable drunk, that guy. For some reason, Brendan could never accept just being the lovable jock dude. Just embrace it. He would have been so much better. If he would have been in what your position now if he would have done that. He would have probably been way richer, way famous. He probably would have been signed to Barstool, on ESPN, all these things that he probably secretly would love to do. He would have done it. But because he takes himself so seriously, here's where we are. You're still sitting next to Rinks. You're still fucking doing that, looking at the screen. You're still saying, what else you got, chin? Right? You're still fucking stuffing fucking shit in your mouth or 17 cups on the table. Right? Like, come on, bro. It's the same shit. It hasn't changed in like 25 years. Like, come on.
He's not going to do it. And he said to me, because I guess a guy got in there and was an amateur and he fucking hit him. And he goes, I'll go as hard as you go. But there are dudes that get in there with a guy like that who fights professionally and they up it and they start really swinging for the fences. And don't forget that the guy's a fucking fighter. If you hit him in the face, something's going to trigger and he's going to come back at you. So if you want to play that game, okay.
Yeah. You know, when people tell these type of stories, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if this is true with you guys, but I always say this before, but I grew up in a very, very rough area of London. Like, I still do live in a very rough area of London. And I've been in some very dicey situations in my life, but I've never used that as like some people that you meet who do this thing where like they talk about where they've come from. They talk about their friends in prison and all this sort of stuff as a way to kind of seem hard themselves. And I've got those stories. I've got friends who are like doing life and stuff, right? But it's no point mentioning it because it wasn't me that did the thing. I just know the person because I played fucking football with him, or because we used to play PlayStation together, right? Or because our mums knew each other. I didn't do any of the dirt. So I'm not going to talk about it to make myself look tough. But Bryan does this thing that I've noticed that I always used to fucking hate, where he talks about speaking to fighters and speaking to a Marine to make him look like he's a hard nut. Oh, I was speaking to a Marine about Afghanistan. I was speaking to an MMA fighter about this. Shut up, bro. Okay, you know dangerous people. Ooh. But what are you going to do yourself? What are you going to do? What are you going to do yourself? Nothing. I hate that shit, bro. I hate that fucking talking about tough people or talking about tough things you've seen. It's like, fuck off. No one gives a fuck. Everyone's have a tough life. We all have tough lives. Sometimes if my Wi-Fi goes out, I feel like it's the end of the world. That to me is a tough day. The Wi-Fi goes out, I'm going to cry, right? I forget to fucking get butter in the shop on my way back. I forget to buy toilet roll. I'm fucking crying, right? Like, that's a tough day for me. We all have fucking tough days. Stop fucking mentioning these fighters like it makes you look like a hard nut. Relax. You're a dad of fucking 3. You're 60 years old. Like, just chill.
You know.
Garbrandt goes, I was like, I'm going to rip his head off. But it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. What are you supposed to do? Wow.
Van Damme was crying too. He said he was actually on his knees crying. And he says, my champion to Garbrandt. And Garbrandt didn't know how to react to it.
What do you do? You're
Because what do you do?
right. Well, for sure, get up, Frank Dukes. Man, that's a bummer.
Hell of a reaction, innit? Bloody hell, man. They were getting paid for this back in the day, innit? God almighty, that was boring. Nothing else to say there, guys, no? Nothing else about that whole clip? No insights, no nothing? Okay, cool. Big up Stinger Good. Appreciate you, brother.
If wanted to make me laugh, you got me, brother.
Yeah, it's like big up Stinger Good. If you wanted to. Honestly, I should replay that voicemail, that voice note. I don't think I've sent... Let me not rely. I don't think I've sent another voice note to a man in my entire life, you know. I'm not gonna lie. Especially via iMessage. I don't think I've sent another man a voice note via iMessage. Ever. Let alone, if you weren't to hurt me, brother, you hurt me. Like. And he did that because he wanted to avoid having a paper trail. That's the only reason why he did that. He didn't want him to keep screenshotting what he was saying and sending him to places. Oh. Oh my God. Bro, do you guys want to see this clip? Brendan Shaw believes Ben Askren could beat Khabib. When was this? 5 years ago. Let's play this. Brendan Shaw believes Ben Askren could beat Khabib. Don't get me wrong, I don't blame him because there was a time when Ben Askren was like well regarded by everybody before Jorge Masvidal fight. But this is a horrendous
Ben
take
Askren
now.
versus Khabib would be my #1 super fight right now.
Why?
Because Ben Askren is the greatest American grappler we have.
Wow. And what
He'll
is,
beat anyone in the world.
really?
Anyone in the world. For him not to be at a level to be compared to GSPs, the Matt Hughes of the world, the Khabibs, the Connors, it's a shame, man. He's so talented. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
He got fucked over.
Why?
Because he had his dispute with Dana. Dana kind of didn't like him, his style, which I think is fascinating, but his style just, it just kept him out of the UFC.
Is he over at? He's over at Bell.
He retired.
He did.
He was in
One.
One FC. One FC.
Championship now.
Yeah. So he's over there, world champion. He had his last fight with.
You're so certain he retired, but you don't know what organization he was in before. I love that about him, isn't it? He's so that's the thing I think is a missing ingredient to most people, and myself included. I'm just not cocksure in everything that I do. I doubt myself like other people do, right? I have my doubts and I second guess myself. But to actually be successful, you just need to actually believe everything you say and be dead certain in everything that you say. Like, yeah. I know. Okay, what organization was he in before he retired? It's like, how do you know, but then don't know? Amazing skill.
With Aoki, who he destroyed, and then he just retired.
What was Ben Askren's wrestling pedigree?
Yeah, let's just keep putting our feet on the table. Let's just like leisurely, innit? Leisurely shit. I don't know why this stuff annoys me so much. The sandals, now the feet on the table, like, oh yeah. The merch T-shirts, let's just keep it going.
He was Olympian. He was, I think, is it Missouri? I think is that right, Chin? Look at it. I think he wrestles at Missouri.
But Brendan, it looks fucking. Honestly, bro, he must look back at these clips and be like, "Wow, what happened to me, man?"
I hope I'm not.
Because honestly, trust and believe. When I get to that level, what they were at that point, like, I'm having fucking meal. What you call it? I'm having fucking what you call it? My meals delivered to me every single day. I'm having a fucking personal trainer with me once a week to look at my lifts and shit. Especially if I'm doing strength and conditioning. I'm gonna have somebody fucking, making sure my squats are right, making sure that I'm racking stuff properly, making sure I'm pressing properly. Like, I'm actually gonna take weight. I'm buying weightlifting shoes. I'm getting fucking Romelos or whatever the fuck they're called. Do you know what I mean? I'm tightening up, brother. I'm tightening up super hard. But instead, he got more money, he got more freedom to do what he wants, and then he ended up fucking taking whiskey to the face.
I see him all the time.
Missouri.
Like,
yeah.
I always see Ben Askren.
Missouri, correct?
And Arizona State.
And so he was.
But B, isn't that a different kind of wrestling? That's freestyle, right? It's not Greco. It's not Sambo.
Yeah, but no, you gotta see Ben Askren.
Yeah,
I'm telling you gotta see Ben Askren. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because him on the ground, even when he gets you on the ground, is a fucking nightmare. The stories I've heard about that guy in the gym are ridiculous.
Really?
So
always see
he's
him, too.
a national champion division.
I love that little insider thing people always do, innit? In the gym, bro. We don't know the gym. We don't know anybody in there. We're just regular civilians minding our business. Some of us, the only person we fought in the last 2 years was a fly in our bedroom. Just tell us about tape we can go and analyze ourselves. Don't give us this whole insider scoop. Oh, in the gym to make yourself look like you know what's going on. Come on, brothers. Come on.
Division 1 wrestler, Division 1 All-American. I mean,
Jeez.
you're talking about just Abu Dhabi Submission Wrestling World Champion competitor.
Let's just read these
Yeah, so
accolades up on the Wikipedia, right? You're balls deep in Askren, you know everything about him, but let's go through his accolades on Wikipedia. Let's entertaining podcast. Wonderful podcast.
There's no joke either. He's just grappling.
That's all he is. That's all he wants to do.
And has he had international experience with Greco
Entertaining
players?
shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Cast media to blame for this.
Being on that national level,
Cast
you know.
media.
Does
I'm sorry, world
when
level.
you're a high level freestyle wrestler and you go up against
I love Brian when he kept like asking him questions like this, right? Like he's the oracle of MMA, and also in an attempt to suck him off. You gotta love Brian. Brian's actually a good friend to Brendan. All jokes aside, Brian's actually been a really good friend to Brendan. Like he is always championing him on mic, off mic probably. You know what I mean? He knows how to play his role. Like he's always treated Brendan like a good friend, like a good boss. Yeah, I mean, like they would make for a really cute gay couple, to be fair, if they were actually swung that way, because they really do love each other for real.
against Greco guys, though, do you once they get underhooks, the Greco guy's going to beat you?
A guy like Ben Askren who's well versed in that, like especially I remember Chael too, like you know, because a lot of guys who are good at judo need underhooks too,
Right.
And a lot of Sambo's a little different, but like a guy like Ishii, I remember when we'd wrestle him, like Pat Cummins, Mark Munoz, Chael Sonnen, and myself. There's certain things you can avoid that they have to pull their stuff
They have
off.
to have.
They have to have.
And one of which
real
might
high level
be-
guys can avoid it.
One of the things might be underhooks.
Yeah, but Khabib's a different story. He's a little bit of a different animal because
Right.
he can do that, and then he gets around your waist, where judo's, you know, trips and hips.
Yeah,
But, a guy like Ben Askren.
So you're saying judo might be
a guy
easier.
like Ben Askren could nullify Khabib.
Really? Wow.
I think Ben Askren beats
I
Khabib.
would love to see that. I think
You're never going to see it.
isn't Askren 170?
We never did see it in the end, did we? We never did see it. But I do remember there was a period in time when Rogan was overhyping, what's her name? Ronda Rousey. Ben Askren was the greatest thing since sliced bread. There was a real big opportunity. There was a missed opportunity there. I wonder why Dana never actually went forward with that, bringing Askren on board sooner. I wonder why that was. Because I feel like nowadays, he would have got someone like an Askren involved. He wouldn't have waited so long. I feel like. What do you guys think the reason was? Was it just a hate? Because they had a lot of beef, didn't they? Before I'm trying to get I want to charge my phone, but they had a lot of beef before. But I wonder why Dana White just didn't put differences aside and get him involved in the UFC sooner. He just didn't want to. I don't know why. Very, very strange. And by the time he did come over, it was too late. You know what I mean? Let me get my charger in here and we can continue. Damn, son. Okay, cool. It was the beef. It was mostly the beef. Okay, cool. Mostly the beef is what people are saying here. All right, fair enough. What can we do? Time has now passed now. Next on the wing, just talk about this quickly before I move on to the other stuff. Big up House Phone, formerly of No Jumper, who's now doing Reconnected. He's finally started his own flipping live stream. It took him a while to set this all up. He should have done this a long time ago. But it's better. I'm happy he's doing this because that whole scamming your fans and not sending them their stuff on time and being a dick when they're trying to DM you and leaving them on red and not answering their concerns and stuff, it's just dumb. It makes you look horrible. And just in general, all that weird business that exists in LA or in America where people are selling shout outs on their Instagram stories and stuff, especially when you're a party boy like him, it just makes you look like a crackhead. Like you need money to like pick up and stuff now because you don't have any cash on you. So if somebody, cash apps you $150, you just use that straight away to go buy an 8-ball. It made him sound a little bit crackheadish. It probably isn't the reason. It's just, why not do it when you got the clout and you got a verified account? But that whole selling, and the thing that's funny about him, he sells Instagram stories, right? Shout outs, but then sometimes he doesn't even do it. Like the one thing that's the easiest thing to do, it's the easiest thing to do, more easier than actually sending somebody a pair of jeans in the post. He doesn't even do them on time. or whatever, right? Or he gives the person the runaround. So at least with this, with like donations and subscriptions and shit, and if he moves on Kick, he can maybe have a little bit of extra quote unquote, you know, beer money in his pocket, so he won't need to keep, you know, scamming his fans, and that won't ruin his reputation, because I feel like that reputation he has is a little bit, even though he's got a lot of fans, it's kind of hindering his success, because people don't want to buy his shoes because they associate him with not sending stuff to his fans out there. So big up House Phone for having the stream and putting it up there. He's just started it. He's just first streamed the other day, got already 10k views so far. So clearly the kids out there are loving what he does. So it's good to see. I watched a little bit of it. It was mostly just him like looking up at the screen and reading fucking donations and tips and shit.
Yes, sir.
So big up House Phone. Good
We
to
in
see
the
that.
motherfucker. Oh wait, am I supposed to curse? Is it like
First 15
Let's fast forward a little bit. It was the same thing all the way through. You kind of get what was going on there, but it's just good to see House Phone making the effort to do something like this, because he needs his own little platform anyway to build out and to, you know, whatever, just in case things go wrong with the other stuff. And also to kind of cultivate your own fan base. Why not? Do you know what I mean? He's already got a big following anyway. Kids out there sort of like him. Let's do it. But I want to know, I'm new. Yeah, is it Bodybuilding News? How long is this going to last though? Can he get to 50 episodes? Can he get to 50 episodes? I don't know. I've got my doubts, you know? I've got my fucking doubts. I've got my doubts if he gets 50 episodes. But if he can, it's going to send him to the moon. So for the love of God, House Phone, please do this. Stick with it if you can. And it might get you closer to maybe, you know, having some other sources of income, so you're not maybe reliant on having to scam your fans in the DMs and shit. It's a little bit of an extra thing. And also it's a good thing to kind of, you know, to flex, talk about some other shit that you can't talk about in other pods and shit. Do it. Please do it. I implore you, because, you know, it's a better thing for you and your image going forward. But hey, let's see how long that lasts. It probably won't last too long, but hey, we shall continue. Next, when we talk about this, AKADEMIKS sat down with AD on his podcast called Community, and AD put together this clip actually where AKADEMIKS talks about his ex-girlfriend and the whole drama he had around that. If you haven't been paying attention, Ak's ex-girlfriend, on and off girlfriend, has been exposing him online. The recent one was probably the most egregious one, because she basically alleged, or as you know, put out rumors there that, you know, Ak was gay and he liked bum fingers in his bum and he might have raped somebody or something. It was some crazy allegations that she was throwing out there, but just doing what probably girls do on social media and going crazy. But for somebody like an Ak that we know for being really savage when dudes come after him, right? He doesn't have any filter. There is no cool. There is no taking things lightly. He just goes on attack mode and wows out on rappers, on dudes, other women. But for some reason, this woman seems to have a special place in his heart where he's unable to see it. And a lot of people, myself included, think that most likely the reason why he's like this is because he's never had that much experience with girls, and he's only really been fucking like at this level and, you know, at this frequency and the level he's at because he's famous and he's rich. And because of that, he's unable to know how to like navigate with women, right? What to do, how to handle situations. But the fucked up thing about AKADEMIKS is that he's so judgmental on other people's relationships, especially like the Blueface and the Krishan thing. He's got so much to say about other people and what they do that it seems really interesting that he's so resistant to kind of dig deep into why he's the way he is with his girls. He doesn't seem to be super comfortable talking about it. He does talk about it here with AD, don't get me wrong, because he brings it up, but he doesn't seem to be as forthcoming without somebody prompting him to talk about it. He also seems to forgive these girls way more than he forgives the dudes that he kind of goes after. And he doesn't, you know, other women he went after too. So it's just all odd. And I've said it before that I've also been intrigued by, obviously to me it's clear, being a fatter dude and not being that cool and kind of being a bit dorky, that most likely he didn't have a lot of experience with girls. It just is what it is. It's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing, it just is what it is. Even myself, I think my whole kind of like experience with girls kind of only sort of like really increased when I started going to college, when I really started to kind of, you know, come into my own a little bit. I was around guys also that kind of pushed me to go and speak to girls in public and shit, which was super scary, but obviously helped in terms of me being comfortable in my own skin and not being afraid and shit shit, all that sort of stuff helped. Charisma, game, all that sort of shit, riz that people talk about. But it's obviously something you need to kind of be coaxed into if you're a dude. It's hard to kind of do it on your own. So that's understandable. But I also have sympathy for the dude, because imagine becoming a millionaire in your like mid to late 20s when you spent all of your adolescent and teenage years being a dork, like not being regarded well, like, because that's the thing, guys are not delusional like girls. Guys know where we are in the pecking order. I think women are way more delusional. Like they have like this idea, oh, because I did my makeup this way, I'm as hot as this person. I remember that used to be one of my little party tricks when I'd go to raves and stuff. I'd be in a smoking area. I'd always ask like random girls, oh, if you had all the money in the world, do you think you could look as hot as Rihanna? And 9 times out of 10, all the girls I'd ask this would always say yes, which at the time I used to laugh at. But nowadays, with filters and surgery and shit, and the way makeup is and angles, I think those girls had a point, to be fair to them. Like, makeup nowadays can literally take a girl from being a 0 to an 8 or a 9. We've seen it already. So anyway, that being said, I think guys know where they stand in the pecking order. So I think Akademiks always knew he was not a good-looking dude. He probably knew a lot of girls probably were into him. And you can always tell. You just know what kind of where you stand in it. So imagine being that guy for most of your life. Then in your mid-20s to early 30s, you suddenly become the most famous hip-hop blogger in your age group, or within hip-hop in general, right? You become that guy, because Akademiks is like the main guy people go to. And now suddenly all these girls that would never even breathe in your direction are suddenly giving you hungry eyes. Like, you remember that clip? I forgot who it was some basketballer who was like about to sit down in the stands, and there was all these girls like playing with them, like playing with their mouths, sucking a lollipop, playing with their hair, all trying to get the attention of the ballers, right? There are all these girls in the crowd. That's what happens to them on a daily basis when you're a high-level basketballer. So imagine being Akademiks, being the dorky guy, and then suddenly you're having all these girls that would never give you attention coming to your feet. I understand why he's kind of doesn't know how to act with it, but I thought his answer when AD kind of grilled him a little bit, for me it kind of revealed, you know, he is finding it really difficult to kind of navigate that space, because it's just odd. You know what I mean? Going from a nobody to a somebody in that short space of time must be hard to handle, especially when women are involved. But hear his answer as to why he gives that girl a lot of chances to keep exposing him, and she's obviously gonna, you know, maybe in the end hurting him in a big way if he's not careful. So maybe it's an American thing, because I've heard accounts on Reddits and stuff that he's bought girls cars and stuff and gives them an allowance. Maybe it's an American thing, but I'm honestly saying this right now, like, I'm more than happy to treat my partners and girlfriends and stuff well, but I never understand people who like throw money at random people they're smashing and shit, or just dating. Like, I don't understand that. Unless you're in a relationship, why would you buy them a car? Like, give them money to like get like nail. I don't understand. Nails are like, if that's your girlfriend and your wife, of course do everything, spoil them. Do you know what I mean? You won't need for nothing when you're with me and shit, but somebody you're just dating, like, what's with this whole like just giving them money stuff and giving them things, buying them a Birkin? You don't, what, you're just smashing? Okay.
Well,
again, I'm saying this from the comfort of my own basement, covered in Cheeto fingers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying all of this like that way, right? I'm a bum, all this stuff, yeah, whatever. Maybe it's different when you have the money in your pocket and you want to impress somebody, but that kind of money, I want to treat myself. If I've got Akademiks money, I'm treating myself. I'm treating my friends. I'm taking out people that I like to go out for dates and shit, but I'm not buying them a car. Well, how do you, like, it's just like, I don't know. Even if you have that money, like, it's just a weird thing to do, a transaction. Like, I'm trying to figure out in my head how that conversation even, how it happens. You're having dinner somewhere and she says, what? Man, I had to get the Uber here. I wish I had a car. And then you're like, yeah, don't worry. Go on my phone, search for a car and I'll buy it for you now. Like, how does that happen, that conversation? It's hard enough for some people to ask their friend to borrow $10. How do you go up to a person that you're fucking and say, can you buy me a vehicle, please? and not any vehicle, not just a Prius to get you from back, not just a nice Honda or something. No, you want a fucking G-Wagon. You don't even want a commuter car to get you back and from A to B to work or something, or like a starter car to help you like with your business. You want a fucking G-Wagon with white rims. Come on, man.
they always go to the online route to try to say something when things.
Okay, I want to hear the AD question. Hold on.
Krishan,
Yeah.
the first thing.
Hold on, I want to hear the AD question.
This prime? No.
If you do wrong, even if it's not in a favorable way.
I love the chain though. You see the chain? Aka's got a chain with a prize present, I guess. That's obviously linking back to that thing about that video where he got caught arguing with a girl in the casino. And like, I'm the prize. Like, sound like he's about to cry. It's a cool way to kind of, you know, embrace the meme. But I don't know, Ak, man, like, men know where they stand in the pecking order. Men know. Ak must know if he didn't have money and he wasn't successful, he wouldn't be smashing these girls. So he should know there's already an odd power dynamic. There's already an odd balance going on there. And you should move accordingly. If anything, I think, if anything, this is what I would say. I think if you're like ugly or you're fat and shit and you get money, you should probably be more picky with the girls that you attract or that you date than the opposite. Because you know they're only giving you time because of your status and your hard work that you've done to get to that level. That's what I think you should do. But I think it's the opposite. Guys who don't get girls, don't get money, end up becoming more of a walkover. I'd think so. I bet you if you ask one of those girls, those hustler types, they probably tell you like there's nothing worse than a good looking dude with money. Probably because they've got super confidence because they've always got girls and now they've got money. I think a lot of those girls directly go for dudes who were like losers in school because they're easier marks. I would think so. It's actually an easier thing to do because they feel less confident about themselves. I'd imagine so. It's probably a complex game, but I would imagine those like Las Vegas girls, those Miami girls, right? Those girls from Puerto Rico that all those passport brothers are going after. They look for the gringos who look like lames, who look like dorks in school, right? Who didn't get picked for the football team. They're like, okay, cool. You come here.
I gotta forgive you.
Saying so.
Oh, by the way. Sorry to go down this path, but one of the other things that's really frustrating and infuriating about the Russell Brand shit, the amount of second chances he got from the industry. I think that's why it makes that whole topic, that whole conversation very dicey for the people involved who are trying to cancel him. Because the ones who are going after him, the BBC, Channel 4, all these other companies, parts of the mainstream media, they also have to acknowledge that they somehow, in their own way, by turning a blind eye, enabled him to do the mess that he allegedly has been accused of doing. But the one thing that really pissed me off about the whole entire thing is this. No black person, no non-white person could ever get away with what Russell Brand got away with. Never in a million years. He got away with so much shit. That is the antithesis of fucking white privilege. He got away with it. He got rich. The networks got rich. The people working around him got fucking rich. They all had a blast. And then he left a trail of fucking victims. He was able to do it again and again and again. They kept moving Russell Brand around from different stations and TV shows and networks like a fucking priest in the church, bruv. They kept moving him around like a priest in a Catholic church. They kept moving him around every time he did some dirt, and he got complaints from his staff and employees and shit about his creepy behavior. They moved to another station, another floor, another this. That could never happen if Russell Brand looked like me. That's the thing that's fucking annoying, and that's the truth of it. You have to work twice as hard to fucking get those positions in the first place, and then when you get those fucking positions, you don't get the grace that guy kind of gets. It doesn't exist. It doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah, I think that's where all of us connect.
People say Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Shit. Shit. I thought I made a really good point, like a good BLM rah-rah point, right? That I was going to clip up and put all over social media. And now the chat was like, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Fuck. I hate how fucking sensible my chat is, man. Fucking fuck. I couldn't run with my agenda. My race war. Shit. Okay, whatever. Let's continue.
Only nigga.
This is the guy that gives academics help on game and shit. These are the guys that they're going around town allegedly double teaming and shit. Axe crew is fucking ridiculous, man. Big up, what's his name? I forgot his name, but big up this guy.
For the rest of your life. Fuck alone.
Boom,
nigga.
I think.
Any
Boom.
bitch that care about you is not gonna do anything to her.
But you never know. Is it? What she did?
No, I'm not excusing that. But what's the worst thing of what she's saying right?
This is a conversation that really, I think a streamer is even too immature.
Oh, okay, I want to get to a bit with the AD asking a question. Sorry, guys. Please bear with me. I should have found
excuse. It don't excuse. No, it don't excuse. No, they that's a traumatic event.
Come on, where is it?
No, nigga, Dirk's obviously they got
the end of time. So yeah, I don't give a fuck if somebody with you.
Say, hey, listen.
Order
like you ain't never seen me online kissing no bitch. You ain't never seen me online, and there's me. The first time would have never happened.
Come on, bro.
Okay, this is for.
Come on, bro.
I don't know if that plays a part. I'm new to. Honest, 22.
Come on, bro. What bit was it? Where is it? Can I find it?
I met her when she 20. Was definitely with a person who a bunch of other women trying to offer them some grace.
Can I find it? No.
That got bitches. Was you?
Yeah, there we go. Here we go.
No, you're trying to offer them some.
Here we go. AD finally asking the question that we've all been waiting for. Did you get bitches when you were in school? Is that why you're unable to, deal with these hood rats that you seem to love but seem to be running your pockets and destroying you on the internet? What's happening here? Do you just have no experience with girls? And hear the non-answer that he kind of gives. I think this is very telling. This might explain why Ak has put himself in these positions, because it's really unfortunate, because I don't think he needs to do this, But again, I also have some empathy and sympathy with his position, because I can't imagine what it's like from going from being a dork, somebody that girls are not really into, or maybe guys don't respect, and always feeling a little bit left out, and then suddenly being a multi-millionaire in your mid-20s, early 30s, and now girls that look like fucking Dream Doll are DMing you. You know what I mean? Like, that must be fucking wild, especially if you're into that sort of stuff. Let's go. How's that an answer? Your actions, again, I like Ak, but let's be honest, if we're all dudes and we're all men here, even if you don't get any girls yourself, we all can't be fucking blessed with whatever. You know what I mean? Not all of us are in the best place, but we know what in other people, guys recognize game. We can all tell, even women can tell. It's ooze. You know who can know? Actually, forget the guys. Women can actually tell way more than guys probably. They can tell the simps. They can tell the marks. They know who they are. Like, they know, honestly. You watch some of those Passport Bro videos. I fucking love them. Watch those Passport Bro videos, especially when they go to like hoods in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. You will see girls' eyes light up. Like they've seen a mark, like they've seen a fucking, like they're a fucking lion and they've seen a hyena or like a deer or whatever, an antelope. You see them go, gringo, money, visa, like they see a mark. You ooze mark. It kind of, it's kind of emanating from your pores. So he can say what he wants, but ladies know. They know. That's why they do that to him, That's a problem. But maybe as well, to be fair, I'm thinking about talking about it now. I don't know much about, I'm not into all this like relationship fucking stream stuff, but I wonder, is there such a thing as a kink to feeling like, because Ak is always like the boss. He's always shouting at people, telling them how much they suck. Ha ha, you didn't sew enough first week. You're a loser. Your rap sucks. Who are you? But then in a relationship, he's now the person getting kind of dunked on. Is there like a kink for that? I don't know what you'd call it. Like, you kind of like, because you tell people off or because you shout at people, now you don't mind your partner doing it to you. Like, maybe he kind of likes it. He kind of gets off on it. Like a little bit like an embarrassment kink. Is that such a, I wonder if that's a thing. Yeah, there we go, OJ. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's less about bedroom. It's just, I think, just more like this. Like he seems to like it's like that friends, because we've had couples like this that we know. I've had couples like that I've know where they're always arguing. They're slamming the door. They're chucking them out of the moving cars. They're screaming at each other through windows. That is not just all sex. It's more like they get off on that. I love you so much I can scream. Maybe he's got that kind of thing. Bit of a stretch, a bit of a reach. I don't know. Well, you get the gist of it. He doesn't want to admit it. There's nothing, by the way, there's nothing wrong with being a simp. I don't think so. If that's your love language, if you like to just simp out on girls that you're into, cool, do you. But I think in life, it's just good to know who you are. Just be self-aware and don't be delusional. That's it, really. And you're kind of sorted. Talk with it with your flipping, talk it through with your partner and shit. And you've probably got things sorted out. It's just a delusion, and the kind of lying to yourself is odd. You want to look like the tough guy and the man's man and the alpha, because like imagine Ak is like advising other men on how to like talk to women and how to interact, how to deal with relationships and shit. It's like you don't even have your own house in order. You've got your girlfriend on social media airing you out, saying all this shit about you, taking pictures of your pimples on your belly button, showing that you're taking STD medication, putting rumors out there that you rape people, like fingers in, all this stuff that you probably don't need to be put out there. And you're giving advice to people. Like, if I was those girls on Fresh and Fit from OnlyFans and I heard AKADEMIKS barking at me, I'd be so offended. How dare you judge me and my lifestyle being a sex worker, and you can't even handle one woman in your fucking house? I'm handling all these guys that I'm having to fucking, deal with to get my money and to put food on my table, and you can't even handle one woman in your house. And she's not even she's like a young lady. She's like in the early 20s, and you can't even, like whatever. You can't do anything. It's like, how the fuck can you tell me shit? Honestly, those girls on those Fresh and Fit podcasts, they should not let those guys talk to them the way they do, because they have no right talking to them the way they do. No right. Because they're only talking to them because they've got money. Like, it's just like a standard thing. But anyway, I'm not going to go over that too much because it's boring. Moving on to the comedy shit. Let's put that over here. So, did I play this clip? I don't think I did play this clip. Did I play this clip about Brendan saying the homeless cats were evil? I don't know if I did. I found it on my streamable, so let me play it for you now. It's a clip from I forgot the podcast name, but Brendan went on the podcast and he basically said, people like myself and you guys watching are evil. It's an old one, but I thought I'd replay it. Brendan said, we're evil. We're evil for laughing at his shitty jokes and thinking he's a douchebag. I love it. Let's see.
Evil. You have, for people who don't know, you got a big fan base. You got a big anti-fan base. And, the anti-fan base, I think, is on Reddit. I go to this.
You think. You know where it is. You don't think. You know where it is. Come on, host. You know.
Subreddit a bunch, but I'm not it's weird. I like you, but I also find it funny. Like,
they're so clever.
These people
and
are kind of dicks,
so funny.
But they're.
Do you think it exists, by the way? Do you think there exist people who like the Fighter and the Kid podcast and watch it like earnestly every week and also check out the Reddit all the time? Do you think that exists? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to see all the dumb things Brendan says on that Reddit and still be a fan of listening to him talk. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
They're also funny in the same way. Like, it's kind of this double thing. I'm curious, like, for you, obviously that's like, it's probably funny for me because I'm outside of it. I'm not the person that's the butt of the joke in some of these cases, but me and Sam got maybe 1/100th of the like kind of the passion and hate that you have, because you've been doing this a long time. You've made it pretty big. But when I read our YouTube comments and I see something like that, it stings in the moment, but also there's a lot of times where I'm like, they're not wrong. Like, there is some truth to where they're being a dick about it, but there's some truth to where what they're saying.
And you know what? That's it. That's the whole point of how Brendan could have killed this whole community of people, myself included, the Reddit, everything. Be aware of why people don't like you. You can see what they say in the comments, what they say in videos, and understand where they're coming from. but it doesn't need to affect how you act or how you talk or what you do, unless it's something that you generally think you need to change for better for your life. But you can be aware of why people don't like you and not be, you know, defensive or aggressive in your reply. You can just be like, you know what, I get why you don't like it, but that's just, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I think Bert Kreischer did that, actually. I remember people complaining about Bert Kreischer interrupting. He's like, look, I'm always going to interrupt. I'm always going to make it about me. This is just what I do. You know me for this. This is what I do. I drink a lot. I talk about myself. I interrupt. It is what it is. But he doesn't get annoyed when people point it out all the time. Whereas with Brendan, he thinks he's a great guy, doesn't understand why people don't like him, beast of a dad, beast of a comedian, beast of a podcaster, and anybody that says anything negative is evil. That's the disconnect he has.
I could see that. I'm curious for you, when you hear about the sort of...
Big up Uche.
As my algorithm pushed me a golden hour EP and at the bottom it said Agostinho Zinga viewers watch this channel. Chat has some splaining to do, fess up.
Yes, get in. Thank you, Uche, appreciate you. Big up everybody watching golden hour episodes after watching my streams or my clips. You guys are doing the Lord's work, because as Uche is saying, the algorithm is fucking helping me. So maybe there's no such thing as white privilege. Maybe the algorithm is recognizing my plight as a black man, the struggles that I've had, the hardships, the pain, the suffering. We were kangs. The algorithm is recognizing. Thank you. All right. Whoever's in charge of YouTube right now, thank you. These hands should be in chains no more. I'm breaking the chains. I'm unshackled. No more a slave. I'm only a slave to Balenciaga and Rick Owens, but no one else. Okay? Well, big up Uche.
the stuff on the subreddit, or you check it out or whatever, do you have any moments where you're like, all right, they're kind of being mean about it, or they're being a dick about it, but there's some truth to what they're saying?
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, I don't, in all honesty, I don't pay attention to it. I think it's a bad thing whether you pay attention to the negativity or the positivity. Yeah, I think you just got to keep doing your thing, you know.
Sounds like something Brian Callen would say. I love how they all borrow little saying and quips to kind of cope with shit or to make themselves sound cool, you know?
My heroes growing up didn't live this world, you know, so it can't be healthy. I think we'll find over years how it affects the brain, how it affects creatives and businessmen who do pay attention to that stuff and read the comments and stuff like that. So I don't want to be that sample size. I'm not going to be.
You're not trying to get that digital CTE of reading comments every day.
I already have enough CTE, man. I'm about to ride my Porsche off the PCH. But I think with the Reddit group, yeah, it's interesting because you know, the watch everything you do.
Debatable. There's some people who watch most of the stuff and upload the clips. There are people on Reddit who just, you know, refuse to watch any content he puts out. They wait for somebody to clip it and put it on the fucking subreddit. And you're not even allowed to clip it. You're not even allowed to post direct links to YouTube. It has to be things you take. They don't want to give you views and nothing. So they're pretty aggressive in terms of like, we're just going to stay here and point and laugh at you. We're not going to engage at all. Most people on that Reddit even don't really agree with people trolling him in the comments or like, you know, goading him to block them or something. They don't care. They just want to point and laugh.
And there's some things that I'm on board with. And then there's a small select group on there who are just.
Oh my God. The podcast one stock is at $1.37 according to this post on the Reddit. $1.37. Didn't it open at like $8? Holy fuck, bro. It's at $1.37. The podcast one stock that went public. So this promised money they're all meant to get back by selling their stock in 2 years. The stock will be worthless. Holy shit. Yo, that Colin Thompson, or whoever Thompson guy, he fucked them over real good, bro. He overpaid them to get them all on board, promised them the world, stopped paying them. They didn't notice after several months, Then he sold the company, promised them to give the money back with partly stock options, and now the stocks are going to be worth nothing, and he's going to get away with it. He would never see the inside of a jail. Never. He's going to get away with it. Litigations, suing here and there. He'll settle out of court, but he was enjoy that money. He's got a ring, car, all this stuff probably. He won't see the inside of a jail once. Wow.
Evil. So there's difference between hate, which I get. I give you a lot to hate on. I do a lot of content. I make a lot of jokes. I offend a lot of people. I get that. You don't.
You see, that's the problem. This guy thinks people don't like him because he does too much content. I look at somebody like a Logan Paul and Jake Paul as a good example. Obviously, they're douchebags and they've got their errors, but I think those guys are successful because they know why people don't like them, but they don't care. I don't think Logan Paul thinks he's a good person. I don't think he doesn't think that people that don't like him for no reason. He's aware why they don't like him. He just doesn't care. Like the Crypto Zoo thing. He promised refunds. He's not doing it because he doesn't want to do it. But he knows why people are upset about it. He knows why they're always going after him about it. He understands why, but he just doesn't care. It's like the Ice Poseidon thing. Ice Poseidon did some crypto coin. He raised a bunch of money and he just took the money. He said, look, I'm taking the money because I need it. And some of his fans left, some of his fans stayed. But I think most of these guys that are the top of their game in any kind of niche they're in, they have an understanding of why they're not liked, but they just don't give a fuck. And Brendan's issue is that he doesn't get it still. He still thinks people don't like him because of his comedy and because he does too much podcasts. It's like, bro, just the Bobby Lee stuff alone, people could dislike you for that alone. The fact that you tried to fuck one of your fellow comedians' girlfriend at the time, people should be more than, I don't know, justified to not like you for that and think, hold on, what? How could you betray one of your friends in comedy like that? That should be enough of a reason. Not aside from all the other stuff that you've done. That alone should be a reason. That has nothing to do with comedy. Nothing to do with you playing football. Nothing to do with you doing kicking ass and, I don't know, having a car and having a big house. No, just the fact that we heard a story about you trying to fuck one of your friends' girlfriends at the time. We heard a story about how you tried to, you know, give someone a trug walk, even though you're married with kids and shit. That should be enough of reason for people to say, you know what, I don't like that guy. But he doesn't get it. He still thinks it's because of the jokes in the podcast. We don't like him because of the Fruit Talk Diaries. It's like,
don't get to a certain level without getting a lot of haters. You just don't. If you look at Logan Paul, Drake, LeBron James, name the massive celebrities that we have in this world. There, and you go online, you read their comments, or my buddy Joe Rogan. Nobody, I don't know anybody who gets more hate than that guy.
Comparing yourself to Joe Rogan is wild.
Gets more love. I'm in the business of likability. So if you watch my podcast, you buy a ticket to my stand-up, you buy the merch, you buy the whiskey, you're a fan. I make a living off likability. So I don't give the hate energy. As far as the Reddit goes, I get it. And some of them are really funny and I appreciate those guys, whether it's good or bad towards me. It gets a little dicey when they want to, I don't understand when they cross the line, when it gets into my personal life.
Right.
It's like, I'm not Tom Cruise, dude. Why the fuck you give us, who cares about that stuff? And thank God my wife, she's been with me since I was in the UFC. So when you're fighting UFC, you get a lot of love, you get a lot of hate. There's no in between if you're doing it right. So she's conditioned to that. She doesn't pay attention to it. She doesn't care, at this point.
That's the problem though, isn't it? Like, I know the personal life thing's a bit scummy and not the greatest of things, but if you kind of did it though, innit? And it's really sloppy shit. It's stuff you probably should have avoided doing. That's the problem. Getting caught on camera, handing somebody a note, the DMs that got leaked, the addies and baddies thing with BGL. It's pretty obvious that you did do some of these things. It just is what it is. You're a public figure. People are going to talk about this sort of stuff. Like, you don't get verified on Instagram because you want to be left alone. You don't buy views for your YouTube channel, your podcast, because you don't want to be famous or because you don't want your content to get out there. That's what happens if you want to grow and you want to be bigger. If you don't want that kind of attention on you, scale things back down, come back to being a small content creator like myself, and no one will care about your personal life. But when you do enter into that space or into that kind of stratosphere, that's what comes with it. You can't then start crying about it. That's very bizarre because Tom Cruise has people digging into his faith, into his family, into his relationships because he's fucking Tom Cruise. So if you're comparing yourself to Tom Cruise but you don't want Tom Cruise level of attention, I'm not press X for doubt. I'm not sure if you know what you're talking about.
Point. So thank God for that. But the only time I don't like is when they make it super personal. It's about the kids. It's about, certain things, but nobody's harder on.
Also, no one talks about his kids. Everyone talks about him and his wife. His wife is on Instagram with a verified account. I don't like it personally. I don't like the wife posts and stuff. I don't even get comfortable speaking about it here sometimes, but in general, people only talk about his wife and him. No one really mentions the kids. Most of the time when they post pictures of him on the on the Reddit and it has his kids in it, they'll block out their faces or crop them out. So he is talking out of his ass here a little bit.
On me than myself. There's nothing they can say that I don't tell myself, usually on a daily basis. And trust me, it's way worse whatever they're putting out. So although I get it, I appreciate it, and I just don't give it energy. I think one of the things that I have going for me is, I post and ghost. I don't pay attention to that stuff, but then I'm also, I'm on the road, whatever it is, 30 weekends a year. If I get done with this interview, I go get coffee. I can't go down the street without somebody saying, "Hey, Brandon, love you, man." So
he always has these interactions with people. Celebrities always know him. Fans are always running across the street. I love it. I love it.
That's real. That's what I care about. Social media, it's a factor for sure, but it's not the end all be all. I think when people realize that if you're walking down the street, 1 in 10 people are on social media, especially on Twitter, that you can't give your self-value, your self-worth of what social media is, you're going to live a much happier life. So that Reddit group, they're going to do their thing, and that comes with the territory, and I was built for it. That's why God gave me big shoulders. But
cringe. Come on, man. This motherfucker thinks he's Tony Robbins. Come on, man. Bappa Robbins, huh? CTE Robbins. Come on, bro.
They're gonna
clip that. They're gonna love that one.
Yeah, I think I was built for it. And then also you look, if you look at me, I know, I probably look like the guy that bullied you in high school. And they'll use some of that, like, oh, Brendan's a bully or whatever. And I know I look like.
What about that story of you throwing that guy through a glass window because he wouldn't let you eat his food? Isn't that a bully story? What about you trying to intimidate Bobby Lee and shit over the phone with that whole Kalila stuff? Isn't that a bully story? What about you C-clamping a comedian because they were ripping into you in a parking lot one time? Is that not a bully story?
The guy, but if they actually knew me, these people know me. They've never met me. They're not buying tickets to a show, so I don't give it energy because if I did, I wouldn't have a business. I wouldn't have this house that I'm talking to you guys in right now. So, I think
my car's bigger than your car. My house is bigger than yours. I drive a Rari. You're on a skateboard. Loser. We're all losers.
the lines get blurred where it's like, oh, he's a big, strong guy. He's fighting UFC. He can handle this. There's no limits.
How can you be a victim and then suck yourself off? He's a big, strong guy. He looks like the bully. He's the badass. He's got the big house, but I'm a victim. You're bullying me. You guys are evil. Pick one. Pick one. You can't be the victim and the bully. Pick uno.
Everything's off limits. There's nothing off limits. We can go as hard as we want him. It's like, it actually hurts my feelings, man. It's actually not cool, but
also now you're the one that's getting bullied. It hurts my feelings more than you'd ever know. That's not nice.
Jokes I'm all for. I'm all for, man. I'm professional comedy.
No, you're not. We've seen how you reacted when your joke, when people start ripping you in the flipping podcast. You don't like jokes. You're thin-skinned. That's the main issue with Brendan. It's a thin-skinned, actually. Forget not being funny and stuff. It's a thin-skinned. Big up Stinger Goo for the super chat, brother.
I hate him because he was in the NFL.
Exactly, Stinger Goo, exactly. He took my place in Colorado, actually, right? He was one of the white guys that was really fast, and he took my spot. I should have had that spot, right? It's reverse racism, actually, right? They picked the white guys ahead of me. That's why we don't like you, because you played American football. Right? You had a cup of coffee with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
We roast each other. We do our thing. So if it's funny, it's witty, fire away. But when you start going towards the, once you start going towards the personal side, well, then you've crossed the boundary, you know?
Maybe don't hand girls on the live stream a note while you're married, mate. Maybe don't, you know, request DMs and stuff from randoms on Instagram and then have them leaked from the people at hand. Maybe don't request your assistant at the time, BGL, to secure addies and baddies for you. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's this guy talking about, man?
And now, also, if you want to have this conversation in person, you want to offend me, we can do that.
See, there we go. He's the victim, then he's the aggressor. If you want to come to me in person and talk about how much you don't like me, I'ma kill you. I'ma kill you. I'm a Chris Benoit, your entire family and your bloodline, whoever you're standing around on that given occasion. Talk shit, get banged. But I thought you was the victim. I thought you was getting bullied. I thought it was hurting your feelings. See? He's all over the place with this shit, man. Come to me in public and I will strangle you. But it hurts my feelings more than you'd know.
I can do that. We can see how it goes for you. That's never happened. As long as I've been in entertainment, I've never run into anybody that said something to my face. So I get what they're doing. If it's funny, it's witty, and they're going to do their thing, I actually appreciate it. But when you cross the boundary and you disrespect me a different way, you know, that's where I have an issue.
Brendan grabbed me. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. It's Chappelle. I'm Chappelle. It's Chappelle, man. Chappelle. Please, I'm Chappelle.
With it. When I say issue with it, it means it hurts my feelings. I'm not going to do nothing to you. I'm not the bully you expect me to be.
Has he got fucking like real-time CTE? Didn't you just hear what he said? He said he's threatening you. Now he's saying he's not the bully in like less than 5 seconds after what he said before. Like, God almighty, bro. He might be really redacted.
Then also, I think that subreddit has crossed the point. Not all of them. Some of them are actually just funny and they're fans and they just show it in a different way. And I understand that at my age. But, you know, a lot of them have crossed that boundary where, you know, they hide behind this keyboard and they want to do evil things, which I don't understand.
That's the thing, though. That whole entire subreddit is full of people clipping things from a podcast that he says and laughing at it. That's it. There's really no investigative journalism going on there. Maybe with the podcast one stuff, people already found out some bits and bobs, but it's all readily available stuff that's already out there. Nobody's trying to hack you, nothing. Dox you, DDoS attack, SWAT, nothing. Everyone is just clipping what you say and laughing at it. And that to him is evil. It says everything about how warped his fucking sense of self is, isn't it?
To me, it's like, and for what? For what? Because I do stand up? You don't have to buy a ticket.
No one does. Don't worry, mate.
Because I do free podcasts? That triggers you?
Right.
We don't have to watch.
No one does, mate. The views are declining.
You know, so I'm just cut from a different cloth. I'm just a positive person. Now, there's some podcasters that will lean into it. And if there's beef between comics, they'll lean into that. And they like that controversy and that drama all the time, like it's Real Housewives of LA. And I would probably be much more famous and much further along my career if I entertained that. I just can't do it.
Too thin-skinned.
Sometimes I think, man, I should try that. It's just not what I do. I don't like being negative. I'm a positive person. I enjoy helping people out. So, you know, it's just
like kids in burning cars. But anyway, you heard what he said. Yeah, big up Brendan. We're all evil. We're all redacted. It is what it is. I guess in it, so let him live his life. What he's saying here, when is Skankfest? Which is, I don't know actually. Good question. It's happening soon, right? Isn't it end of September? Skankfest 2023. When is it? Oh, it's October. Okay, cool. My bad. I thought it was September. It's October it's October the 1st. So it's coming up. So I guess we'll see how much of a fun, cool guy he is when he gets to Skankfest. I guess we'll see when that happens. But it's happening in October. Skankfest is happening. So yeah. Yep. 29th to the 1st of October. So at the end of the month. So 29th to the 1st. 29th to the 1st. So let's keep an eye out. I guess we'll see whether or not he is the happy, fun guy. Or if he does skanks. Like everybody on the subreddit, everybody in the stream kept saying to me that he's going to cancel, he's not going to show up. I'm of the feeling that he must go to Skankfest. He must. That's going to be a game changer for him career-wise. Honestly, it's going to give him so much good grace. He needs to do it. But I don't know. I'm sort of leaning to you guys. I'm sort of siding on a side where, knowing Brendan, he's probably going to cancel. He's probably going to get cold feet, get scared, and not go. But he should go, in my opinion. He needs to go. He must go to fucking Skankfest. He needs it more than anybody, personally. But, you know, knowing him, he'll probably won't go, and he'll just move it. Big up Tyler the Ghost. I appreciate you, brother.
His wife is selling designer bags/shoes online while humble brag posting in the Lamborghini. Don't flaunt your wealth.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that actually. I saw her fucking Poshmark, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into that messy shit. That's going a little bit too far. But yeah, man, you know what I noticed about her Poshmark? Big up Tyler Ghost. I appreciate you for the fucking super chat. The amount of shit she buys, bro, and this stuff doesn't look fake, and it's all trash, like some Gucci cardigan dress thing, horrible Chanel trainers, Balenciaga bags that she's probably never gonna wear, brand new. She spends money, bro. I kind of, looking at his wife's Poshmark, I kind of started to feel a bit bad for Brendan. I get why he kind of spreads himself so thin with these shit podcasts. He signed so quickly to this podcast one deal. Brendan can't afford to have a slow month. He really can't. He's got 2 kids probably going to private school, already in private school, and he's got a wife, a stay-at-home wife who doesn't work, who has no interest of working, it looks like, but has really, really expensive taste. And she doesn't look like she buys stuff from China. She goes to fucking Rodeo, whatever it's fucking called, Drive, whatever all those fancy shops are, and she buys fucking designer pieces. Like, her Poshmark is full of so much shit, but it's all terrible. It's all terrible, like ugly shit that you would never buy. Like, it's, you know, it kind of reminded me of, no offense to them as well, no offense. It kind of reminded me about the kind of things that you'd see Middle Eastern people coming to buy when they come to London. They come to London Selfridges, and loads of my sales assistant friends will always be rubbing their hands when they see them, because those guys have got so much money, they've got everything. So you can sell them anything by just saying, this is the last one, this is a special one, all that sort of shit. She's got the type of stuff that I've never even seen them make. Like, what is that? Like, why would you buy yourself a Gucci cardigan dress? Like, what is this? Like, he has to work a lot. He has to work a lot to get that money, man. I don't blame him. That pressure to keep that household going. Like, I always say it, Brendan's monthly outgoings must match his income. Like, it must be so close. It's always tight. That's why he's always so stressed, drinking so much, because he has to always work. He can't miss that's why he doesn't miss podcasts. He talks about it like he's working hard, that he's hustling. He can't afford to miss a podcast because his whole family depends on him. And he has a wife that spends probably more money than him on clothes, and he's meant to be into fashion. She's got her Poshmark is insane. And think about it, because Brendan's like a average comic with an average podcast, but she spends like she's married to fucking Jordan. What's he called? Jordan Burroughs. What's his name? That Joe Burrows guy. She spends like she's married to him, but she's married to some like regular comic guy. Like, wild, brothers, wild. Honestly, if you have a chance to check out her Poshmark and you find it, check it. I'm not gonna speak about it on the pod, or show it, but her Poshmark is wild, bro. I'm like, oh my god. Matt Rizzo, would AZ marry Papa for unlimited Ben Stiago? No, never. I'm one of those guys who genuinely doesn't care about looks as much as other dudes. I'm all about personality. Like, if you have an annoying personality or you have a weird laugh or something, I'm out. I can put up a lot, but I can't put up with somebody with an annoying personality. And Brendan to live with day to day must be exhausting. That's why I think they're perfect for each other, to be fair. Big up Stinger Goo.
I know you don't like talking about Mexican, but she was just in Vegas, pregnant and single for the weekend. Give me.
Again, if there are some mums in the chat, maybe if MMM's still around, or maybe Josie and stuff, you guys can tell me better, because I don't want to like say too much on this sort of topic. But are we right for looking at that a bit weird? A mum that's like, what, 5 months pregnant, going to Vegas with her friends for Mexican Independence Day and leaving her 2 kids at home. Is that strange or is that normal? Because my natural instinct is like, that's a bit weird, isn't it? You're 5 months pregnant and you're going to Vegas. I don't know. Bit strange, no? Or are we overreacting? I find it a bit odd personally. I find it a bit strange, but I think they've got that arrangement, isn't it? Like I think they've got this arrangement where, because Brendan knows she does a lot at home, he kind of he has to let her do that thing, which I think is a fair deal. You know, I think it's a fair deal because Brendan is on the road all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mr. said, yeah, I had twins, so I could barely move. I only went out for an hour at a time. I think it's strange. I would not go to Vegas. Hot, crowded, loud. No thanks. She craves attention more than comfort. Yeah, but I think they've got a deal. Thank you, you two. I think they've got. Don't know. Would want to find out. I think they've got. I think they've got a deal. I think they've got an arrangement. The same way I think they've got like a silent arrangement where they're allowed to like cheat and do their thing, right? I think they've got an arrangement where Brendan's allowed to kind of be with the boys, go on tour, do his thing, if she gets at least 2 or 3 of these expense paid Vegas trips. Because I think if you do a search, you'll probably find she's probably taking a Vegas trip every year probably, or maybe missed out on one, but she's always going to Vegas. Vegas seems to be a spot. She likes fucking Vegas a lot. So clearly that's one of their little deals that they have, where when Brendan's allowed to go to Austin and hang out with Rogan and do the whole boys thing and eat steak and drink and have fun on the podcast without the children, and she has to look after them on her own, I think then he kind of feels guilty, and to kind of pay her back for letting him do what he wants, he gives her the credit card and tells her, hey, you can go to Vegas with your friends. I think that's what they have. They have that kind of deal. I don't think she's going out there to cheat on her. I don't believe that narrative at all. I just think they've got an arrangement where he's like, okay, I'm allowed to do my boy thing. I'll let you do your girl thing. Like she, you know, which is wild because most likely what happens is that she probably doesn't get enough attention at home. And then the Vegas trip is like a time, even if she doesn't do anything with the guys, it's like an occasion to just have somebody buy you a drink, maybe somebody make a nice comment about your body, to say how cute you are, to want to talk to you. You know, you kind of feel alive again, which is, it's kind of sad, to be fair. You should be getting that attention at home, but hey, you know, yeah, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Oh, is it? I told Brendan he's stealing my daughter's name, and he responded in a DM within 5 minutes. He's still checking him. Of course he is. Now he's not with BGL. Brendan's checking everything. Because I do believe to some extent BGL he didn't check his DMs back then. I think Brendan is really sensitive and thin-skinned and gets hurt by comments. So I do believe that he always had a filter, whether it was Cat or BGL, they handled it. But now they've gone. And I also think because BGL exposed his DMs, I don't think he's ever going to trust anybody again with his Instagram account. He's never going to trust somebody because of how he exposed the DMs and shit. So he's probably now doing it on his own. So it's no surprise that he's checking the DMs and shit. Let's talk about this clip. Oh my God, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. I love this game. So I always talk about how much I enjoy Brendan's lies because I always feel like they're so unnecessary. And they're so over the top and they're so insane that your first instinct is to not believe them. Because you immediately think, hold on, why would Brendan know this? Like, why would he be the hero in this story when you're not even that well known? You know, you're known in your niche, but you're not that famous. But I just love the fact that he always just goes with these lies. Like, I love these lies from him because they're just so batshit crazy, don't make any sense. So this is taken from the Fight and the Kid subreddit, and look at this title. Look at this fucking title. Bapper knew the severity of Aaron Rodgers' injury before everyone else via text from his inside guy who works for the Jets. So Brendan is trying to tell us he has an inside guy currently now in an NFL team who's able to tell him things about Aaron Rodgers' injury before some of the most plugged in the know guys in media are able to do so. Do you believe that? Brendan is that close with people in the NFL to this day, even though he had no real substantial career there or whatever. Somehow he's got these contacts. Let's play the clip, but it's absolutely insane lie to say.
I don't know what it's like to be Aaron Rodgers. I know there's not a more competitive person on this earth, and I doubt he goes out like that. And with science and technology, they could get him back by next year. You're crazy if you think Aaron Rodgers can go out like that. There's no way.
He's not, huh?
No. And the bummer is their star receiver, as he's getting cart off, he looks at him and goes, sorry, kid. Because he would have made that kid's life, dude. That kid would have been all pro.
Sorry,
He looked at him and went,
kid.
sorry, kid.
That Sauce Gardner.
That made me cry. Want to cry. Sorry, kid.
He knew. Did you? He knew, didn't he?
Oh, everyone knew. Yeah.
So when he,
I knew 5 minutes into it.
You did?
I got confirmation 5 minutes into it. Yeah.
Why would you lie? Why not just say I knew because I played football and I had a similar injury? Why? And I love how he immediately looked away when he said the lie. He couldn't hold his eye contact. Why not just say I knew 5 minutes into it, that especially when I saw the replays, because I've had a similar injury. Because I've seen somebody else in my team have a similar injury. Because maybe Aaron Rodgers had a similar injury. Why did he jump to the... Because that's the thing I always say. Most likely there's always truth to his lies. A morsel of truth. A crumb of truth. So maybe with his knowledge of football and how he watched it all his life and he played it all his life, maybe he could know, okay, cool, when your leg goes that way and this happens and you have that kind of impact, you're going to be out for this long. Because I think most people that have sense could see that, right? That played sports and watched sports. But the first thing he did at the end, I knew, because of my inside guy.
Oh, no.
From someone that works on the Jets. Because I was like, I was texting the guy, I'm like, maybe it's just a high ankle sprain. He goes, nope, fully ruptured Achilles, out for the year.
Does that mean the Achilles snapped?
Yeah, snapped.
Inside guy, instead of going to talk to the journalists or the broadcasters on ESPN, all these big podcasts and all these new networks and Barstool, the first person that they would reply to, imagine this is happening. I think it's the first game of the football season, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron Rodgers is a big deal, right? Big deal fucking quarterback, right? He's going to maybe restore the Jets and get them back to where they need to be, back in the Super Bowl after so many years, blah, blah, blah. It's an amazing story. He runs out into the field holding the fucking American flag, right? It's a fucking spectacle after everything he's gone through in a year and shit. And after, because it's a big thing, everyone's talking about it on social. The first person, imagine that person, if he's got that friend, is probably getting hit up by all of their contacts. All of their people are contacting him. His phone's probably vibrating non-stop. Notification, ding, 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 ding. The one person he does reply to and details everything to is Brendan Schaub. To go back and tell his 50,000 listeners on The Fighter and the Kid or on the Schaub show. Come on, bro. Why would you lie about something like this? Come on, bro. Come on. And even if I did know this sort of information, I would just not say it. Because no one's ever going to believe you anyway. Just be like, oh yeah, I heard from somebody that I know that it was really seriously injured, but he was directly texting me. Some coach on the side of the fucking field. Instead of paying attention on how they can help Aaron Rodgers or think of solutions, to kind of make that thing work and what they can do now in the game, they're thinking about replying to you.
Oh my God! I
was bummed for the entire night all yesterday. I've been bummed all week about it. Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
Notice how he didn't say nothing about Rodgers himself, like texting him and wishing him speedy recovery. Even though they're meant to be in business together, he didn't mention how he spoke to him directly. A little bit of a separation there. Is that whiskey deal going to happen? I'm not too sure. What are you saying here? What's Vinka? Vinyaka, AD, can you please talk about CSM? We don't care about this. Okay, cool. No, my friend, not on here. I'll do that on Taz if I would do it, but it's not interesting, isn't it? It's just a college, just a university. They do arts and design there. If you like that sort of stuff and you want people to be impressed by the college or by the course that you do, and you want people to go like, oh my God, wow, you went to that school, then go there. But if you are deciding to go to fucking college or art things, or you're into that creative space, I would advise you to go and intern at a studio, or set up your own brand, or launch your own magazine, or start your own photography practice. Then waste time going to that university, in my personal opinion. Go and do your own thing, get your clout up, get some industry experience, get some actual work experience, earn some money in the process, and then later on, if you want to go back and study, you can, or if you want to then jump and do a master's, you can. But don't go there and try to fucking find your way and live life that way. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It can work, but I think overall most people would be dead set. And also, you can only find out what course you want to do having real life experience. I didn't have any. I went straight to CSM from fucking school. I went there straight when I left sixth form, 18 years old, fresh. I didn't do a foundation or anything. I just went straight into the product design course. So it was a bad move. I think I should have at least went out and did a little gap year or did some experience working in a design studio and then figured out what I wanted to do. Do I want to do industrial design? Do I want to do product design? Do I want to do fashion? Do I want to do textiles? Do I want to do print? All this sort of stuff you need to think about. Do I want to do communications? Like all this stuff you need to think about. Art. Like all that stuff you should think about more than that. But yeah, it's boring. It's not that worth talking about. It is what it is. Good luck on your journey, my brother. Good luck on your journey. Moving on from that one. Oh yeah. Do you guys want to get bummed out? Do you guys want to get bummed out? Yeah, you do. You want to get bummed out? Let's go for some YURIY and RYLEE. YURIY and RYLEE. Din, 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 din. Yeah, let's talk about YURIY and RYLEE. Let's talk about YURIY and RYLEE. Yeah. So I put together this little clip from their stream. I cut up some clips of them in Amsterdam because it was legendary. They went on a little bit of a European tour to the UK, to Amsterdam, back to the UK again, hanging around doing their thing. And it was meant to be a vacation mixed with streaming. I guess they were able to raise some funds through donations and whatnot. And that whole every dollar is a minute on the stream nonsense that they do. And then they're able to come to London and to Amsterdam. But for some reason, the trip devolved into just them, usually what they do, innit? When they get on stream, for some reason, it seems to cause issues in a relationship. It seems to cause issues with them personally, or there always already issues anyway there. I don't know. But every time they turn on the camera, you just get to see how toxic their relationship is and just how sad it is to see people who are clearly in love but don't know how to communicate to each other. That's what you notice. They clearly care about each other, but they don't know how to express it. And it comes across weird and it's very awkward to watch in real time. But the Amsterdam one was the greatest one for me because it demonstrated just how much of a fucking bitch and a baby YURIY is. Because this whole drama that I'm about to play for you, the reason why YURIY gets pissed off and upset is because his dumbass forgot to bring sandals to go to the shower. So if you don't know about Amsterdam, from what I remember, my friends going there, because I haven't been there myself just yet, but my friends going there, it's not really a great city for like hotels and shit and Airbnbs. So they have these like half hotel hostel things, right? Hotels do exist, but they're a bit on the outskirts. In the city center, they have these like hostel-y type places. So you have your private room, but usually the bathroom is like in a shared area. You have to obviously, you got your own door for your shower, but it's sort of like a communal bathroom area with you just go into a cubicle and you got your shower there. So if you go in there sometimes and you go into those places, to be prepared, like I do, you always take sandals with you. Or you buy a pair of sandals at the airport or in some random tourist shop. But you know to already have sandals because if you don't feel comfortable going to those kind of places with loads of people sharing it, bring your sandals. He didn't bring his sandals. So I guess he didn't bring a sandal. Maybe he didn't have a towel the first day. So his clothes are wet. He doesn't have sandals. He's feeling agitated because he hasn't showered in a couple of days. And obviously people on the stream are also teasing him because he doesn't shower anyway. And he gets annoyed. And now he goes out in Amsterdam and tries to find sandals. And again, it's his fault that he doesn't have sandals, but look what happens. He turns it into an argument, even though it's his fault and he didn't prepare himself properly to go there. Look what happens. It's a fucking incredible series of clips. Come on, play. What's happening here? It's not playing. Oh, I've got to restart it. Hold on. There you go. It's playing now. Okay, let's restart it. 1 second. Epic fail. There you go. There you go. There's his face. Look at him, YURIY. Absolute catch. Look at that face of his. Holy shit. There we go. Is it going now? Come on now. There we go. There we go. So YURIY's on the hunt now for some sandals. Watch what happens.
Bruh. I'm just gonna have to get foot fungus.
He's such a bitch.
Oh my god. We have flip-flops right here. Not a clue, mate. Not a clue. Right over here. I should go tell him. How's it going?
See how I think he got annoyed at that guy on the outside because I think he asked him if they got sandals and he said he doesn't know, and then he gets annoyed that that guy didn't notice the sandals. It's like, bro, like whatever. Anyway, you could tell somebody hasn't been punched in the face in it by the way he acts, man. Like imagine talking to strangers you don't know this way. Like Jesus Christ, Yuri, you need to relax. Take it easy, brother. Please, I beg of you.
Sir? Yes.
Could you tell me how, please?
No, I can't. I wanted to buy some sandals.
My face is not coming, right?
If you want me to turn it this way, I can go somewhere else to buy sandals. It's fine. Whatever.
See how he gets annoyed. He gets into a shop. The guy tells him, I don't want to be on camera. And he gets annoyed that the guy doesn't want to be on camera in his private business. He's allowed to say, hey, turn off your fucking stream. And he doesn't want to. And he gets pissy about it. But unfortunately for Yuri, this is one of the only shops that he found that sells sandals. So the rest of his journey, he doesn't find them. And he gets heated still that he wasn't allowed to buy the sandals in the shop because the guy told him to turn off his stream. He could have easily just turned off his stream and went back and bought the sandals. But the pride, the ego, the hubris, the arrogance, whatever it is, didn't allow him to do so. And then he decides to take all this frustration he has now on his girlfriend. Love it.
Yeah, no problem. God damn it, I found sandals and I can't even fucking buy them because that dude's being weird.
How's he being weird? He doesn't want to be filmed. You're allowed to say
This
you don't
looks
want to be
fucking
filmed.
creepy as hell. What's that band called?
Oh, Slipknot.
Fuck. What's that band called that wears all masks? It's on the tip of my tongue. The fuck is it called? Corn. Fucking corn. There you go. Grumpy critter.
Corn. I don't think corn wears, they don't wear
doing
face masks.
something
They have a lot
illegal
of
if you don't
hair,
want to
but
be
they don't wear
filmed, right?
face masks. Maybe.
That's the only reason. Or you must be a criminal. I don't know.
You hear what he said? If you don't want to be on camera, you have to be a criminal. If you don't like to be on some random live streamer's fucking stupid stream, you have to be a criminal. If you want to, you know, if you care about your privacy, you have to be a criminal. This guy, man. This fucking guy.
You gotta be doing something illegal if you don't want to be filmed, right? That's the only reason.
Yeah, of course.
Or you must be a criminal. I don't know. Criminal on the run, or are you doing something illegal? Those are the two options.
He's so mad right now.
Milkshakes.
He's so pissed off.
Oh man,
He's
looks like
so
Dunkin'
angry.
Donuts. That's about it. It doesn't look like it goes any further. This is fucked, bro.
And
Should we check down this
and the
alley?
thing someone mentioned, I think the thing that's really funny about him too, he's in Amsterdam. If you guys don't know, Amsterdam is one of the drug capitals of Europe. You could go there to smoke weed, you could go there to have mushrooms, LSD. There's a big illicit cocaine sort of scene over there also, parts of Belgium, because they're obviously port cities. Don't ask me how I know this, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of shady people go to Berlin, and a lot of normal people go to Berlin. Or go to Amsterdam, sorry. So it's perfectly normal for a place like that to have people who are very camera shy, or who want to go and enjoy themselves behind closed doors or in private. It's pretty normal if there's shady business there. But he thinks because he's an American or because he's got a fucking live stream going, that trumps people's own personal privacy. No, I'm just going to stream everything. No, brother, you're going to someone's shop. Maybe outside you can do what you want, but going to someone's private business, they can say, turn off the fucking stream if you want to shop in here. And he could say, I need the sandals, so I'm going to agree. And he didn't need to turn it off. You could just cover the fucking camera, buy the sandals, and then leave. But he doesn't, because it's not done to his exact standards. And then his poor girlfriend has to receive the fucking has to receive the consequences of this. Let's watch. You watch. You'll see. He's angry. He's upset. He's walking through. He's gonna keep getting more angry as he walks.
Fix the
more
camera,
frustrated.
can't see shit.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here. He's still searching for him. He can't find him.
Here, I can fix it, but
Exposure, edit.
the shower's being shared by the whole
Okay,
shower
so
for the next 3
complaining
days.
about the shower. Look, here.
Shower. Fuck these sandals.
He's not gonna shower.
Back down. Fuck it. We're going back to the hotel room. Fuck it. I'm not taking a shower for the next 3 days, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Way worse. Fuck the damn shower. Fuck these sandals. Fuck the hotel. Fuck the pod.
Have you guys never showered? Imagine, I understand not showering for 3 days when you're at home, if you're gonna feel a bit disgusting. But can you imagine going abroad on vacation somewhere and not showering for 3 days? Most of the time when you go abroad, you're like walking to see the sights, touristy things, go for dinner, people watch. So you're going to be sweating, moving around and shit. You don't know where you are, so you might end up walking more than usual because you think everywhere's walkable. And then you want to get a bit of that funk off your body. Or maybe you're just going to be in a hotel room with your partner fucking like bunny rabbits all night. But you need to shower a little bit, don't you think? He doesn't want to shower for 3 days because he can't find sandals. He's not being facetious. He's actually being real because that's part of the joke about him. He doesn't shower.
I am not taking a shower for the next 3 days. Everyone else could suck it. You have to, because it's a shared shower. The shower is being shared by the whole floor. I'm not trying to step on the same ground with my toes as everyone else, dude. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. I'm not showering for the next 3 days. I can't find no damn sandals. And this place is all fucked. Use a trash bag, bro. Now you're making excuses. No excuses.
He's back with his friends now. Watch how
We're trying to go do fun stuff in Amsterdam. I'm not trying to go or try to complete normal life tasks that take an hour.
He's getting frustrated. He can't find the sandals. He's getting angry.
Cover your camera and buy those sandals. No, that guy could suck a dick. I don't want to support his business.
The guy can suck a dick for saying, I don't want to be on camera. Listen to this dude. That guy, that random shopkeeper who you don't know and you only exchanged a couple of words with, who politely said, hey, am I on camera? Can suck a dick because he doesn't want to be on camera. What a lovely guy this guy is.
Bro, just let me buy the damn, like, it's not that hard to be like, oh, yo, you're on camera here. Let me step off camera and sell you these sandals. Do the sandals have meth in them? Why can't he sell me sandals on stream?
Why does he have to suck your dick to sell you the sandals?
Anger level at an 8 out of 10.
Exactly.
All right.
Here it comes. Now prepare for the rage when he meets his friends and his girlfriend.
Jesus Christ. It's his business. He doesn't want film. Plain and simple. Yeah, exactly. It's my business. I need to film. I ain't buying the sandals. Plain and simple.
Get fucked in it.
Alright. Ay, dude.
Let's get to his girlfriend. When he finds her, watch how angry he gets straight away. When he meets up with her, this is fucking gonna be amazing. Watch.
I can put my back.
Please, get there. Where is it? Is he find him? It's coming up now.
Okay, let me hop off stream. I'll be.
There he goes. Yeah, now he's gonna meet his friends. Now the real rage starts, right? Watch the real rage happen now when he meets his friends. Let's see it. Let's go. He doesn't find the sandals still. He's still trying to find them. Let's see. 1 second. Bear with me. I'm scooting across. The girlfriend tries to help him. And here he is, right? There he goes. Outside the dinner table. Where are they? Is it here? No, it's not. It's over here. There it is. Yeah. This is where it spices up. So he doesn't find the sandals. And again, imagine all this argument's happening while he's on vacation with two of his best friends, right? Potlord and Ali, the married couple, right? He's there. Imagine you're doing a double date. on holiday and vacation and you're arguing constantly with your fucking partner while your friends are there. It's awkward. You're making their trip awkward now because they don't know how to enjoy themselves. They can't even get loose and have fun because every time they're turning around, you guys are like arguing and shouting at each other. And they do this thing now, which is funny, watching their streams where when they're angry at each other but they don't want to speak on camera, they'll be texting each other. So they'll be passively aggressive, texting each other on the sly, all these little arguments they're having on text back and forth, so they don't say it on camera, but it's clear that it's happening because they're so tense. But watch what happens from now on.
You want some Sprite?
Yes.
Because I already have enough in my beer.
So, would you like some
And just gave me
good
the
times?
order.
I would love that.
Quiet, tense, nothing happening. Amsterdam, good weed, good beer, nice weather. You should be having a great time. But they're arguing. Let's see. Let's YURIY get on camera now. 1 second. Where is he coming out now? Where is he?
Dude,
there he
fuck
is.
it, no shower.
Here he goes.
Yeah, they are.
Here's
My
YURIY.
clothes are soaking wet. I can't even change.
They're
Yeah, they are. I give up, dude. Fuck it, no shower. Why are you getting upset?
Now you're gonna take it out on me.
Bro, I'm gonna take it, really?
Did you hear what she said, the girlfriend? How sad is that? Why? He said, why are you getting upset? And she says, because you're going to take it out on me. She's like an abused dog. Like, when the owner comes and she knows going to beat, like, you know, it's a dog. It kind of needs you, but it's also scared because the dog knows every time you come back home, you're going to hit him. But he also needs food. He also needs to be, you know, he also needs love and affection. So awful, man, honestly.
Should I get you shorts?
No, it's fine. I'll get myself shorts.
I'll get you shorts while you.
I don't need you to. You're not my mom. I don't need you to give me shorts. I'm just saying, like.
Look how he freaked out. Wasn't that like a little child? He's nearly 30. I think he's 29 years old. He's not 21 or 22, by the way. He does look really young. But look at the freak out, the waving of the arms, like a little baby, like a tantrum. I'll get you the shorts. Don't worry. You're not my mom. So why are you acting like a child? You're not my mom. Let's look at it one more time. That was incredible. I love the freak out.
I'll get you shorts while you.
I don't need you to. You're not my mom. I don't need you to give me shorts. I'm just saying, like, bro, I'm frustrated because I couldn't take a shower. And
I think he realized mid freak out that he was looking like a bitch, and he had to compose himself. I feel like you're not my mom. I think she's considerably younger than him too. Not considerably, but she must be like 2 or 3 years younger than him or something like that. So it makes it even worse that he's acting like this, right? And again, this all stems from him being ill prepared and not bringing sandals to this hotel they're staying in. Even if it was not his fault. Once you notice there's an issue and you feel uncomfortable going into a communal shower thing with your bare feet on the floor, even though he doesn't shower, he smokes joints every day, he looks like he doesn't wash his clothes, for him to be suddenly freaked out about putting his feet on water, whatever, is another thing. But hey, do your thing. If that's the case and it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, make sure you get the thing before you need it. The night before, whatever, go and try and find the sandals. Don't put it on everybody else. I think one of the worst things you could do when you go on a holiday with people and you're in a group is to like make the group go and do the thing that you need to get done. Like if you're missing a hat or you need to get like a pen or whatever, you need to get something that's only specific for you. You should do the group a favor, wake up a bit earlier than everyone's going to wake up, or while they're getting breakfast, go and find your thing, then meet your group and then go do the group activities. You don't drag your group around in the city that you're in visiting, trying to find the one thing that you need. No, go and find it yourself, or split from the group and tell them, hey, I'll go meet you later, I'll call you after and I'll go get my thing. But he's in this thing where like his sandals are now everybody's problem, you know? Exactly, Josie. They say you don't know somebody until you travel with them, and it sounds like this girl's learning exactly. You learn so much about people when you go out to eat with them and when you travel with them. You learn a lot about people, because eat with them, of course, you go to find out how they interact with the space around them, how they treat fucking waiters and shit, and the people that are sharing the space with you, how they eat in public, how they just act in general, when they drink. But this is just crazy. Because again, it's a him problem, nobody else.
Get myself shorts.
I'll get you shorts while you.
I don't need you to. You're not my mom. I don't need you to give me shorts. I'm just saying, bro, I'm frustrated because I couldn't take a shower, and then I realized all my clothes are wet.
I fucking hate you, mom. And he's 30 years old. Fucking hell, Yuri.
Bruh. Jesus Christ.
Alright, let's go smoke.
Now I'm rolling myself up one right now for sure.
Potlaw trying to improve the atmosphere, but it doesn't help. Have you ever had friends like this? Where they argue a lot. You can't do nothing to change the mood. They're going to argue. You just have to let them do their thing. Just let them get over it. Potlaw's trying. Okay, let's smoke. Let's try and make this fun. He still wants to be negative and dour.
You can only smoke inside.
You can only smoke inside. You can't smoke outside.
You can roll up outside though, right?
You can roll up. He said it's €100 fine.
To smoke outside? Weren't we smoking outside?
That's what I said.
Yeah, everybody's smoking outside.
I don't think he's lying.
And yesterday we smoked next to the cups, basically.
Yeah.
But
I think so many people are outside doing it.
Maybe during the day it's a little, at night they're not tripping like that, and maybe during the day it's like, okay, watch out a little bit.
Bro, it's not an excuse. No, I wish you guys could touch my. I wish you guys could. No, it's who. I didn't even mention your name at all. I wish you guys could touch my clothes. They're all just soaking wet. I'm not gonna take a shower and jump into soaking wet. You want me to bring him out? You want me to bring him out? They're hella wet. Why are you like? Would you wear them?
Yeah, I probably would because some of mine are too.
Right. Not like that though.
They're not soaking, so he's trying to. I'm the biggest victim. Feel sorry for me. They're not that soaking. Jesus Christ, the passive aggressiveness is fucking amazing. I don't know. Yeah, good. I don't know, Jesse. Good. I don't know why they're wet from. Maybe he went in the shower with his clothes, or maybe no. Actually, maybe he tried to dry himself with his clothes. Maybe he tried to stand on them when he was in the shower because he had no sandals. I don't know why his clothes are wet, but either way, his clothes are wet.
Bro, the shorts were like drenched.
I'm gonna buy shorts or something.
Bro, don't, please, dude, please don't. I'm like, I don't need you to buy me shit. Like you're so drama for no reason.
Drama? How can he? I love it. I loved it. I love how she's poking him back. I'm drama. You're getting all freaked out because you're missing some sandals that you should have bought yourself.
You're buying me shit. Like you're so drama for no reason.
Drama?
All I said was I can't shower because all my clothes are wet. That's being drama? That's being drama?
Yeah, it is.
That's not being drama. They're just calling it what it is. Don't be.
Bro, you said the guy in the shop doesn't get your business because he's being a douche for not letting you on camera. You were, cursing the fucking sky when you're walking around the streets of Amsterdam trying to find these sandals. You came back steaming with your group of friends because you couldn't find your sandals. Like, that's being drama, brother. You should have bought them yourself. You're being dramatic. You're being a bitch.
Mad because you washed the clothes. Like, that's why you're mad.
Oh, okay, cool. So I guess the girlfriend washed the clothes, but they didn't dry properly. And now he has a bag full of wet clothes. Okay, mistakes happen. Just go find a fucking laundromat and go to dry them. Most hotels, hostels have a place to go and wash your clothes. I'm sure for a fee you can get them washed by them. Give them extra money. They can actually get them washed and fold and have them ready and folded for you. Or a dry cleaning place. It's not that deep, like, come on, bro.
Jesus Christ. This here grinder? 2020?
Yep.
It's out here?
Got it. No, I got it all the way here.
Oh.
Imagine being on a vacation with your partner and arguing like this. Anyway, so he's still mad. He's still mad. Let's see what happens here. He's grinding now. Also, the fucking weed addiction is crazy as well, to be honest. That kind of like, it's almost crackheady, the amount of weed that they smoke and how necessary it is for him to smoke it. But it's also funny how he smokes so much weed nowadays that he's probably used to it. It doesn't really affect his mood. He's still a cunt. He still is annoying. He doesn't chill out or mellow out at all. He's still the same kind of bratty, immature guy that he is when he's not smoking. So it doesn't really do much.
Yes, you always fuck it up.
Alright, but no, that's the alright.
Oh, nothing happens there.
Woosah, bro.
Movies and songs and shit.
What happens here? Nothing, right? That's it.
What's the solution? I have to go back on a journey to go buy a t-shirt and shorts because I don't have any clothes to wear.
Wait, why do you don't have clothes to wear then?
Because RYLEE did the laundry before we left, and then because we were in a rush, I guess she didn't finish it, and everything's just soaking wet.
Sweet to like blame your girlfriend in front of your friends, isn't it? Just say, hey, no, it's all right, we're gonna sort it. No, like decorum of like how to talk about your partner in front of your friends. Just yeah, RYLEE did that. She fucked it up basically. Potlord doesn't know what to say. It's so awkward.
I can see your frustration.
I can see your frustration.
I was like, fuck, finally I get to take a shower. And then I touched my clothes. I'm like, bruh, everything's fucking soaking. I'm like, I can't even, I'm not gonna, no. I was like,
why can't you just go and buy a souvenir outfit? Some shitty shorts from a souvenir shop, a shitty t-shirt, just to have some dry clothes, and then go dry the clothes that are wet. Is it that hard?
Fuck this, whatever.
Bro, how are you not laughing at this point? Like,
anyway, that happens, and then there's a big apology when they come back home. So they finally come back home, and this is the apology. I want you to watch the apology. Please watch the apology, because I think this is very entertaining to see. So after all that stuff happened, they finally arrive back home, and this is how they, you know, resolve all their issues in front of camera on their podcast called Tent Talks. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. So there, boom. They now resolve their issues in front of camera. So let's see them talk about it. Rick Grassman, they're calling him in the chat. Lols. Rick Grassman's brilliant.
we do have a lot of shit to talk about here because we just came back from a long Europe trip. London, Amsterdam, and then back to London, and then back home. First thing I have to say off rip, which is, you know, something Riley and I were talking about.
Is she high or is she zanned out? What do you think the girlfriend is? Because I think they're perfect. I think there is a lot of love there, to be fair. I laugh at them a lot, but they clearly love each other. It's just, they just display it in really toxic ways. He takes the piss out of her. She takes the piss out of him. They obviously know how to press each other's buttons. It's just not very comfortable to watch if you're an outsider. But there's clearly a lot of love there. But she looks a little bit like she's not always there. I wonder if it's the weed, if it's a drought, or it's just her personality. But she's kind of got a bit of a glazed look in her face when she's sometimes talking on this thing.
Stream, which is when we went to Greece, we stopped by London for a day, met up with Trapler Ross, and we were like, oh my god, it's so cool out here. We would love to spend at least a week out here. And we talked about it. We talked about it on stream. And we for sure like had in our minds that it would be a cool thing to do in the future. And by the future, we were probably thinking years in the future, like at least a year in the future, something like that, because we had just got back from Greece and did all that shit. But we literally within the same year, within like 6 months apart, 5-6 months apart, we went back to London and spent a whole week out there by ourselves.
Less than, yeah.
That is pretty fucking insane. And like always, I have to give a huge shout out to the Harmonious Gang, bro. None of this would be possible without you guys. And we really had like a once-in-a-lifetime experience out there. And obviously, I've already seen the comments on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. People are going to be like, how can you talk about the positives of this trip? All we saw was arguing, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, some people are going to...
No one's going to say that. Again, the gaslighting is incredible. No one's going to say you never had a good trip, but we saw a lot of your trip, and it didn't look fun. I don't know. Going on vacation with my partner is usually a time to relax, have fun, like I said, fuck like bunny rabbits, eat a lot, and just laugh and spend time with each other. Because usually on vacation, you're not bothered by your friends, you're not bothered by work, so you can just spend quality time with each other. These guys didn't have a great time together. It's clear.
Gonna over exaggerate, you know what I mean? Like the negatives, because they, I don't know, like for whatever reasons they want to over exaggerate the negatives. But
you on stream 24 hours a day, or most of the time. You spent a lot of your time on vacation in front of a camera. We saw many hours of you guys together. What? Why are you trying to gaslight? We saw what you we saw the streams, bro. They didn't look fun.
No, yes, bad shit, you know, and like negative stuffs did happen, like in arguments that happened. Negative stuff. Like at the end of the day, like
even
you know,
speaks
we said
like
when we were back
like
in London,
infant, right? Negative
all in all,
stuff.
it still was, you know, a cool trip. It doesn't like make the trip like not cool anymore, or it's like make the whole thing just like whack or shitty.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely like
Oh, maybe she's just high.
Like one of the best experiences, like especially doing with like Ali and Toke too. It was cool that we all.
I'm sure Ali and Toke had a blast being around you guys. I'm sure they're eager to go back on holiday with you guys again. I'm sure.
Gotta like bond and travel together, because like I mean we started in the RV in Vegas, and then now we went to the UK and Amsterdam. Like that's crazy.
I know, that actually is funny. We did I forgot about that.
Poor Ali and Toke. I'm so sorry.
I know,
you guys are the strongest people.
That's one thing, like, you know, just on the argument topic or whatever it is, that's like one thing where like I feel so bad, but then also so appreciative, because they've been around for some tough moments for sure, and then they never like are like even show any negative aspect to it. They're never like, man,
what can they do though? What can they do? That's the thing. He thinks it's a good thing that they didn't do it, but that's how adults act and behave. They just turn a blind eye to it and try and make the best of what they can, or what the time they have available. What can they actually do? Pull you guys to one side and get involved in your business? No thanks. So they just ignore it and whatever, and hope it gets better, but it doesn't. It doesn't mean because they're doing that it's they're cool. No, it's just like you guys are being fucking idiots doing all that shit on holiday. Leave it at home if you can. Please leave all your fighting for when you're in your fucking own homes or in your own little areas. Don't do it when you're on vacation with company, or at least just leave the arguing when you're just alone, not with other people. That should be a golden rule. Come on, bro.
Fucking YURIY and RYLEE ruining our London trip like assholes or some shit like that. They're always super positive and nothing but nice and just supportive, so I appreciate them so much.
Exactly. Josie, good point there in the chat. Even if they paid for everything, I don't think it would be worth it to be with another couple that just fights the whole time and so toxic like that. Exactly. Even if they paid your entire way there, your accommodation, they looked after the fucking bill every time you went for dinner, it's not worth it, especially after the first and second nights. It's like so exhausting. You're not looking forward to it. We've all been on holiday or out with friends, especially out. We've all been out with friends who are liabilities. The ones that go out, you go for a drink, they get way too hammered too quickly and they want to start fights, or they want to make friends with the whole club or the whole restaurant or the whole bar. It's annoying. It's exhausting. How much exhausting is it going on vacation with friends in couples or in groups, and they're just arguing and toxic all the time everywhere you go? After the second night, it's not cute. It's not funny anymore. You're not looking forward to going to dinner with them. You maybe might stay in your hotel room, pretend you're sick because you don't want to hang out with them anymore. Or you might go get dinner on your own. That's how bad it gets. So these guys aren't really understanding it from the other point of view. It is really exhausting to be around people who constantly fucking argue like these guys do.
Okay, that shit happens.
I know, obviously.
So
I'm not. You think I'm justifying it?
No. I'm just saying that to the people that it's not.
How they argue so easily?
We understand that it's not fun to watch.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Also, is when I do streams, or the point of streams is to have a good time, is to have a fun time, and obviously there's a certain group of people out there who just want to see the negative sides, and they just want to, you know,
only post the negative sides.
You know, they're just there for the like fucking the crash outs or whatever it is, and
you
like
crash out
there's
all
gonna
the
be a whole
time.
community for that type of shit.
Don't need
But
many
no, I do
encouragements.
want people to be coming to the streams to have a good time, and I feel nothing but bad for, you know, Token Alley for, you know, bringing the negativity to them, but then also the chat's trying to tune in, see a fun London trip, and I'm like bitching and complaining about photos, you know what I mean, or stupid shit like
or
that.
sandals.
So, I'm sorry, guys, and this is like my third or fourth time apologizing at this point.
How about to your girlfriend? Not sorry to her. He says a very sincere sorry to the audience, but nothing to her on camera. No, that's why she's probably giving the evil eyes. No sorry to her on camera, just to the fans, because they're the most important people. He probably cares about it. He probably fucked the chat before he fucked his own girlfriend. He loves the chat. The chat rules his life, mate.
What about me?
I really fucked up. Really? Have I not apologized to you?
No, on camera.
You could on air.
Oh my god, dude! Why do you have to say it like that, and then you make it sound like I don't want to apologize to you? And I obviously, and I literally have said this already on my first stream back.
Just
I
apologize now.
owe a huge
again,
apology to RYLEE as well. Well, I'm sorry to you as well, babe, because also
There we
with you,
go.
other than Token Alley, you know, I've acted very childish and very immature and done a bunch of, you know, weird shit.
Yeah,
and
like storming off for dinner because you're like a baby.
Have never, like, you know, did anything weird back and fucking, I don't know, like, it's like me crashing out. It's not like you crashing out ever. It's like every time it's like me acting weird and then you just dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Good.
For ruining
At
your
least,
London trip.
finally.
Your London / Amsterdam.
My special trip.
Your special trip.
Give
your
her a
special
hug.
week.
Give her a kiss or
a
something.
week and a half. I keep saying week and a half for 2 weeks.
Like, it was almost 2 weeks. Damn near 2 weeks.
We left the 2nd and we came back the 14th.
Anyway, that was the apology. That's them in love, I guess. If that's love, I don't want anything to do with it, to be fair. That's fucking exhausting and toxic. But hey, if it works for them, I guess we must be happy for them in some respects, but not for me. Not for me in the slightest, my friends. Not for fucking me. Anyways, guys, it's been 3 hours. It's been a blast. Hopefully you guys have had a blast with me also. You know, we do the damn thing over here. We try and make an entertaining show and streaming stuff. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you smash the like button down below for me and let me know, please, if you may. Big up everyone in the stream chat for hanging in there. Big up Crash. Big up Josie. Big up Aryan Privilege. Brandon RW. All of you. Matt Rizze, appreciate all of you for hanging out with me. It's been a blast. Super Jello, I saw you over. Many of you before. Uche and Kyla that were here earlier. Half Moon Bardo. Not Sure. Vinyaka Roy, who was here earlier. Who else was here? Many of you, Nut Boy Juice. Some of your names on here, man. Keith Thompson, Tyler Ghost. I hope, honestly, I appreciate all of you. I really do hope all of you. Crash is saying, I hope for Chin update soon because Yuri is trash. Okay, cool. Yeah. The Yuri I know is trash and toxic, but I love toxicity. So I'll go back to Chin next stream. Maybe go through some of his most popular videos I haven't watched before and maybe go and check some of those. So yeah. I'll try my best to keep the Yuri stuff to a minimum, but I love it. It's so trashy. It's so horrible. It's so toxic. I know it makes you guys a bit sad, but hey, we need to balance some of the stuff in here. But yeah, I'll put some more Chin stuff in there. But big up all of yous. I appreciate all of yous in the chat for hanging out. Thank you so much for being here and for making it fun. And I'll see all of you guys again very, very soon. Take care, my friends. Appreciate you all.